wanna cry. A track many will say gone too soon from the NASCAR calendar. A high-speed, bumpy ride is ahead of these drivers for 225 miles. As many trips around The Rock is coming up next on Pit Stop TV. Good evening all and welcome to the virtual Rockingham, North Carolina. Devin Zimmerman is back alongside for the call this evening. Ed Shearer is out about the track taking photos of all the action tonight. And Devin, a wild race on the dirt at Bristol last week is followed up by a tight, bumpy 1 mile speedway, a historic one at that. What are we looking at when it comes to tonight's race?
Yeah, we're here at the Rock in North Carolina, and it's so called the Rock because it is bumpy. These drivers are going to be bouncing all over the track in these cars. They're going to have to hang on to the steering wheels and continue to drive it and be fast. It's going to be amazing to watch. And as that, we bring up the track map here. You see 8 degrees of banking on the front stretch there, 22 degrees between turns 1 and 2, 8 degrees on the back stretch, and 25 degrees on the between turns 3 and 4. Very interesting pit road exit as well as pit road entry. Watch that. If we have green flag pit stops, it could be tricky for these drivers to get woed down. Off of turn 4 is really bumpy, so getting the car slowed down to make that hard left on the pit road can be tricky, as well as staying below the line and waiting all the way until you get to the blue line on the backstretch. Can be tricky as well. You want to come up as soon as you can, but you got to stay down to the blue line on iRacing, otherwise you'll get that black flag. So yeah, a bumpy track, very loose track because of the bumps. Should be an entertaining ride, Emerson.
Absolutely. This track is notorious for difficult pit road, notorious for tight turn 2, and very, very bumpy at that. It's a fun track we've got on our hands tonight. That back straightaway, Thunder Alley, absolutely chaotic. We had most of our accidents in the trucks last season on that back straightaway. Season 1, when we were here in the Xfinity Series cars, we had a long green flag run. We got green flag pit stops, and then a caution happened in the middle of the pit cycle that kind of flipped that race all upside down and changed the entire outcome of the race. But you see here, the Rockingham Speedway, preserved forever on iRacing. Rockingham stands the test of time in real life as well. Efforts to revive the Speedway have proven relatively fruitful, through the latest of which stalled by COVID-19. And that kept Cars Tour from racing here in 2021. It's still an active Speedway at that. Cars Tour was very much, working on getting here through the pandemic, and then they did in 2021. I'm sorry, they didn't get here in 2021, but that was on the schedule. I'm sure there's many series still trying to get their way to Rockingham Speedway. This track was last in NASCAR, I believe, in 2013 with the Truck Series. For it to make a comeback is not too far-fetched, but it's still quite a distance away. I'd love to see this track back on the NASCAR schedule. Tonight will be a great, rendition of what it would be like if today's NASCAR NextGen vehicles were to take to the Rock. With that being said, again, absolutely wild night we had last week at the dirt track at Bristol. It was a 4-hour show. A couple hours of practice and qualifying led into a 150 lap race that was absolutely chaotic. Kyle Lingerfeld got his second ever Outlaws Sim Series win, and his first ever on dirt. And that being said, he's a part-time driver, so that doesn't really affect what drivers, are where the cut line is in relation to the point standings tonight. But what did happen was Jonathan Jennings was flying. He cut that point lead down to 6 points from Max Service's points lead at points total at 475. Seth Berger's 38 back of teammate Max Service. Jeremiah Stutzman has now gone up to the 4th position in points. He has 73 points back of Max Service. Joseph Causey, we did not see him turn up last week, and I don't know if he's actually going to be making many more starts to come. I'm not going to speculate too much on that, but I did hear that his Wednesdays are starting to become a little bit more busy, and Joseph Causey at 88 might drop a little bit further down in the points. Seth Fitzpatrick had a great showing. He did get the pole point last week. If that wasn't made clear, he was given the pole point because he did pole in single car qualifying. He just didn't get the start first in the heat because of the mistake on setting up the lobby through iRacing. Scott Bailey is tied with him in points after Bailey had a great run last week. He also led about 25 laps or so. He's 7th there in the point standings. Greg Holt needs to turn it around. He's dropped another spot in the points. He's back down to 8th, 130 points. This is statistically Greg Holt's worst season so far, but right now he's 3rd on the charts. This might be the place where he turns it around. Jacob Reeves is 9th, 138 points back, a point leader Max Service, hanging in there in that top 10. And Adrian Schumacher has poked his head up inside the top 10, Devin. 166 back, a point leader Max Service.
Yes, sir. A very surprising but a very delightful run for Schumacher last week at Dirt in Bristol, a track that he's not comfortable on. He likes road courses, but a great showing for him. James Gilliard also had a great showing, even though he was involved in a couple incidents. A lot of speed in that 33 car, and he is showing it in the point standing, sitting in 11th place, 169 points back. Andrew St. Clair has been running into trouble lately, but he still is inside the cut line. That's a good positive note to build on as we're getting into the meat of the season here. So he's 172 points back. Right behind him, Kevin Thompson, 174 points back. Andrew Pratt, 188 points back. And then this is where the cut line gets really tight. Adam Gardner sitting there in the 15th spot, which would effectively be the cut line because of Zoltan Hertzeg having the win at the moment. So Adam Gardner sitting there, the league owner, currently in the playoffs. Just outside of him, though, Devin Smith and Doug Soames both tied right there with 211 points back, 11 back from Andrew Gardner, 16th and 17th. Zoltan Hertzeg, I said before, he has the win. He will get into the playoffs as long as he makes, as long as he shows up for, I believe there's not a race count, but
you have to make 75% of the starts 75% in the regular season. So 19 races. 19. You have to make 19 races. Right.
Thank you for that. So, Zoltan Hertzeg, as long as he'll make those, he'll get in with the win. McMurtry there, 214 points back, so he is definitely still in the conversation to poke his nose into the playoff hunt, as well as Randall Barnett in the 63. He's only 5 back from McMurtry, 219 off of the points lead. It is really tight around this cut line. We're going to start talking about it because we are in the meat of the season, and this is where you need to make your moves, Emerson.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was just looking at the point standings today, a little further down outside of that top 20, because we're starting to get to that point where, we have now made it past the point where if you have not started this season, you're not going to make the playoffs. And I was kind of looking at the starts this season. There's still 34 drivers that are technically eligible to make the playoffs if they get that win and they make 19 starts, or if they just point their way in. But again, 34 drivers at this point still have that chance. There's some that have to make every race from here to the end of the regular season. There's some that can only miss 1 or 2 more, but still 34 drivers eligible of the 50 drivers who have started an Outlaws Sim Series race this season, Devin. That number is going to continue to drop as drivers, sometimes they have to miss races for other reasons. But again, you got to make those 19 starts, and 19 starts at a variety of race tracks. You can't just sit here and cherry pick a track type that you like, because we have all of them here. We've gone through the Super Speedway at Daytona, the road course at Canadian Tire, the 2-mile D-shaped oval at Auto Club, the Nashville Fairgrounds, the horse track turned short track for stock cars, the 1.5 mile old Atlanta, the 2.5 mile rectangular shaped oval at Indianapolis, the 1.5 mile at the curved back straight at Chicagoland, the 7/8 mile short track at Iowa, the big bad Talladega Super Speedway, and the dirt at Bristol takes us to this bumpy 1 mile speed palace tonight. And next week we have our second road course of the season, Devin, before we get into that middle part of the schedule, which doesn't really get any easier.
No, it doesn't. Martinsville, a very tough short track there at 13th on the schedule. I mean, that's going to be, to pass there, you're going to have to bump somebody out of the way. We could have some tempers flying. And then right after that, another short track. So Indianapolis Raceway Park, the 14th race of the season. I mean, we could really see some fireworks between those two races. Then we head to Texas, spread things out a bit, the 1.5 mile in Texas there, just outside of Fort Worth and Dallas. iRacing Super Speedway, the fictional track, used to be Coca-Cola Super Speedway back on one of the original games. And we go there, the 3 mile track, High Banks. Then we head to New Hampshire, the Magic Mile, Michigan, the 2 mile oval, Eldora, the next and only other dirt race of the season. and then we go back to the Super Speedway at Daytona. Then we head to Laguna Seca, a great road course. That's going to be very interesting to see these cars handle that corkscrew. Then we head to the 2-mile track, the long front straightaway there at Pocono. And then we go to Phoenix for another short track. And then we head back to the mile and a half Charlotte Motor Speedway.
We wrap things up in the regular season with 2 concrete racetracks. The Bristol Motor Speedway will get all those 13,000 pounds of clay and dirt out of there, and it'll be back to its concrete form by race 25. Then we're back to the Music City for the Nashville Super Speedway, the 1 1/3 mile concrete intermediate oval. Then we start the playoffs. 2 road courses and a short track with very long corners. Daytona Road. The Daytona Road course, and we'll go back up north to the Milwaukee Mile, back home for the Charlotte Roval, and that'll end round number 1. That'll take 16 drivers to start race 27 with a chance to win the championship to 12 drivers by the start of race 30. Lakeland, Florida's USA International rounds up at round 30. Back to the big bad Talladega Super Speedway round 31, and a track dub that's too tough to tame at round 32. To end round number 2 of the playoffs, and then there'll be 8 drivers that have a chance to win the Outlaws Sim Series NextGen Cup Series title. There at round 33 at Homestead, we'll head to the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and at that point we should have the Atlanta Super Speedway, and that'll be a chaotic race to head into a very tight bull ring-esque track of the half mile at North Wilkes. Actually, I don't think it's half mile, I think it's 2/3 of a mile, but nonetheless a short, tight, technical track at North Wilkesboro before we head to the 3/4 mile short track in Richmond, Virginia for round 36 and the season finale tonight, Devin. Not tonight, I'm sorry, at the end of the season, Devin. And that'll be 4 drivers. First to the start-finish line at Richmond wins the title. Again, a wild schedule. You know what? It keeps everybody on their toes. It keeps us on our toes, Devin. Each week, we have to bring a different agenda to the track, just as these drivers have to, with setup and mindset and driving style and even, I mean, I don't know if people do, but maybe some people have different, rims that they like, say, for road racing or dirt, and, if they have different rims, stuff like that. There's so many different things they've had to go through just through the first 10 races. And then here we're going to kick off round number 11 here at Rockingham in just a few moments. But what we can do is we can look at what's gone on now on the practice charts. There's been 51 and a half minutes now, right? In 3, 2, 1, 51 and a half minutes of practice. Pro driver Nicholas Shelton is at the top of the timing sheet. He has 66 1,000ths of a second, 6/100ths over Zoltan Hertzeg. Greg Holt there in third. Devin, looking at the chart of names here, I know Max Service is coming into this race with a lot of hype. He loves this track. He was leading here in season 1 before that caution came out in the middle of pit cycles that evidently ruined his competitive evening because he got trapped a couple laps down. But a lot of names up here. Matt Rogers is one that actually catches my eye there in 4th. But we're looking here. What do you see in this top 10, top 20? I mean, it catches your eye. Somebody you want to talk to? What are you looking at here?
I was looking at the league owner, Adam Gardner. He has shown some speed this season, and we haven't really talked to him that much. He's just kind of been squeaking by, keeping his nose right there in the talk of being in the playoffs. And with him sitting on the, for lack of a better term, bubble at the moment, with Zoltan Hertzeg having to win behind him, he's really got to start to pick it up because these guys behind him are going to try and catch him. But he can also catch guys in front of him to get himself into a more safer position. So, Adam Gardner right now sitting in 19th on the practice charts, looking to have a decent run here tonight at a hard track. To master with the bumps and everything, it could be very difficult. So if he can keep it clean and keep it nice and out there on the track, he should be okay to have a good night tonight.
All right. Well, here he is then, driver of the number 56, Adam Gardner. We got him lined up here, Devin.
Hey, league owner Adam Gardner, nice for you to join us in the booth. This is Devin. I hope you're having a good and fun time out there at Rockingham.
Yeah, can't complain.
I know it's an interesting track to learn with all the bumps and the tight turn 2, this interesting pit road that you have to get down. It's very interesting track indeed, and it's a very fun track for that matter. How are you kind of faring and feeling about your chances tonight?
Um, well, I've definitely put a lot of laps in working on her. Feel pretty comfortable with where the car is. As far as single lap speed goes, she's definitely not the fastest, but she stays pretty consistent through the run. Dealing with a little bit of a personal health issue, hurt myself earlier in the week, so at this point, I'm just kind of hoping to make the finish, but definitely been putting the laps in to try to get her, keep her up there, but pretty happy with how she is. Can't really complain about that.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about the personal health issue. I hope that it won't impede you too much in the race. So you're looking pretty racy, sitting at about 19 spots, not too bad. You're on the bubble for the playoffs at the moment, sitting there 15th, but Zoltan Hertzig's behind you with a win. How are you feeling about your chances come season in here? You feel like you're going to be able to make a run for the playoffs and kind of get in, maybe separate yourself, get a little bit comfortable position going forward?
Goal's definitely to make the playoffs. I'd love to get a win and go ahead and let that take care of itself, but at the same time, feel pretty comfortable with where we're at points-wise. Realistically, I think I probably would need to get up top 12, maybe 13th to feel safe on it. But at the same time, it has been progress every week. Since the season opened up, we haven't lost any spots. Just been that slow, steady climb, and kind of like the fact that it's taken this late into the season to kind of get attention or anything like that, because like to be that guy that no one really sees coming, that people say, hey, where did he come from?
Exactly. I mean, you got to be the model of consistency. That's how you survive a long season like this. And we've been asking other drivers that, just how are you going to approach the season? How do you have to take the season? And I believe you hit on the head, consistency. And speaking of that consistency, I mean, you've been consistently getting faster and faster. The setup's getting better and better. Is it just more time that you're taking with the setups, or is it, starting to get a handle on this brand new race car?
I think it's definitely getting a handle's helped. The fact that it's been a little bit since iRacing's done any major updates or changes as far as the way they handle has been a big help. The confidence has definitely been up there. Running a couple of different leagues and have been steadily getting better. So it makes it a lot easier to feel a lot more comfortable going in when the confidence there. And the fact that the car has that feel that I'm looking for, especially the way it's looking like we're going to have a nice, hot, slick one today. So I think the direction I went with the setup is definitely going to be the right way to go. Be able to keep it under me. And hopefully we'll put on a good show here.
Yeah, I hope
be
so.
happy with the top 15. Would absolutely love a top 10 or better, but at the same time, I just want to keep plugging away, make those pickups where I got to make my pickups, and let the points fall where they fall.
Yeah, exactly. Just be consistent out there, and yeah, top 10 would be great. Top 15, good as well. Hopefully, though, maybe we can see you sneak up there. Maybe some strategy will come into play here. And yeah, just keep it clean. Maybe we're talking to you at the end here. We'll let you get back. I know qualifying's about to get underway, so we'll let you get back. And appreciate you talking to us.
Appreciate it. Wanted to say thanks to you guys for putting on the show that you put on each week. Thank everybody out there in Outlaws Nation that's watching. I love going back after the races and checking out the comments. It's pretty cool to see how engaging everybody that watches and interacts with is into it, and it means a lot to me personally as a league owner. And yeah, other than that, just everybody kick back, enjoy the show, and hopefully I'm around there at the end for the finish, and we can put on something special here tonight.
Well, we appreciate you. We appreciate this league you put on. We'll get you back down there. Good luck in qualifying, driver.
Appreciate it.
And there it is, driver of the number 56, Adam Gardner. And as he said, we're just happy. He gives us this opportunity to put the show on. But what he said there was the engagement in the comments, and absolutely, if you're out there go ahead and drop a comment down in live chat, or if you're watching this after it was live, drop a comment down after the race. Even then, you know, we still see them. Support your driver. If you're just a casual fan, just support the product. Let us know how you feel about what's going out on the track, good or bad, you know, and anything helps at that. And at that, you know, we don't really do this often, but you know, we just surpassed that 2,000 subscriber mark on Pit Stop TV. If you haven't subbed to the Pit Stop TV YouTube channel, go ahead and do that as well. It would mean a lot there if we try to continue to produce some great content. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and shout out our socials tonight, which will be pretty busy tonight out there on the track. Ed Shear, and he'll be taking photos, send them right out to our Facebook, our Instagram, and our Twitter tonight. Devin, our Facebook page, facebook.com/pitstoptv, our Instagram at pit_stop_TV. That's the same as our Twitch, by the way, twitch.tv/pit_stop_TV, which we are live to tonight as well. Twitter, our Twitter handle is at pitstoptv_, and our YouTube channel, youtube.com/pitstoptv1. And time is, well, winding down on this practice session, Devin. Pro driver Nicholas Shelton has pulled nearly 1/10 over Zoltan Hertzeg, and qualifying is about to get underway.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting qualifying. We get to see how these drivers fare on a fairly clean track. There's been a lot of congestion out there so far, so I believe we're going to see some really fast times go out there on the track. These drivers also, you got to nail the lap. It's really hard to nail this lap perfectly, and the driver who does it's going to be the one that gets on pole. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's really hard to get it absolutely perfect here at Rockingham, though. Those bumps, if you just hit it just even remotely an inch wrong, it's going to throw you so far off in the center of the turn or coming off the turn that you're going to have to check up just a little bit and maybe lose a tenth coming around on that lap. So got to hit it right, and we're about to see it get going.
Absolutely. Want to once again shout out Devin Zimmerman, Ed Shearer, joining myself, Emerson Arden, on the production crew this evening. And if you want to join our crew here at Pit Stop TV, email Andrew at pitstoptv.com. Devin, we're now in the Pratt Tile and Stone qualifying. The driver who's really excited about this track on the schedule. Here he is, driver of the number 81 Max Server. Let's go ahead and ride on board and see how these bumps kind of throw him around.
Yeah, you can see the car bouncing all over the place. It looks like you're hopping. I mean, you know, luckily these drivers, they aren't in the car, but you do feel all of those bumps in the steering wheel. All of these drivers have the steering wheels. You feel the bumps. You feel every vibration of the car through that steering wheel. That's how you kind of get the feel of a car, and I guarantee you they're feeling these bumps.
Nicholas Shelton goes top of the chart. Seth Berger, Adam Gardner, Max Service, Devin Smith. As Service comes across the line there, we'll go ahead and throw up the timing sheet on the left-hand side. Max Service has gone second quickest. Let's go ahead and catch up with our pro driver, Nicholas Shelton. We'll ride on board on the hood. Nicholas Shelton off of turn 4. Quick, cutting the apron there at the trial. Well, does that help out his time? Well, it goes fastest by 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, looks like they're using that first lap as a giveaway lap, setup lap, and they really going for it on the last lap. Looks like Max was able to take a tenth out of it, but that's about all he can take out of it, as we're now riding alongside the guy who was second in practice, Zoltan Hertzeg.
Yep, that B&G Motorsport teammate, Zoltan Hertzeg. This is the completion of his first timed lap. Or actually, I believe I'm wrong. I think this is the start of his first timed lap. There it is. There's the timer on the right-hand side. Let's go ahead and catch up with somebody who is out there who's pretty fast. Jonathan Jennings, he's picked up a couple poles this season. Can he get one more, Devin? Here he comes out of X-Ray. Look at that car. It's almost like the porpoising we're seeing in F1 this season.
It definitely is. Like I said, this track is bumpy. It's notorious. They don't call it the Rock for any reason other than
Absolutely.
that. I mean, it is just rocky, bumpy, whatever you want to call it, and you can really see it on these cars. Ooh, you see the 34 get out of shape on one of those bumps.
It is a toughie tonight for these drivers. Let's see who else is out about on the racetrack. How about Scott Bailey, who led himself a decent amount of laps last time out on the dirt at Bristol. He's actually finished up his run. He's the slowest driver on the timing sheet, Seth Fitzpatrick. This is the guy who got the last pole here in the Outlaws Sim Series last week on the dirt at Bristol.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the hands of these drivers. Normally you want to be as smooth as you possibly can, but because of the bumps here, you're really driving the wheel. And you can see it seesawing back and forth just a little bit down the straightaway, a little bit more calm, but you can really see it in the corners. Seesaw, a little bit back and forth. He holds it pretty steady there in the center of the turn, but yeah, you can really see the vibration in the hands as they come to the line. Even though this is an oval, you're really working that wheel.
This is now Seth Fitzpatrick's third timed lap. This is the lap that's going to make or break it for the 2 car. You see he's in 4th gear, and that's what I'm hearing a lot. This is not going to really be a 5th gear track, especially because they are hitting about 170 their top speed. He actually does jump up the 4th quickest. The 2 of Seth Fitzpatrick, just 2 1,000ths off of the 81 on max service.
Yeah, really close. And then now we're going to be seeing Brad Bothwell, who was the qualifying expert last season here in the Outlaw Sim Series and the trucks. Taking him a little bit longer to get used to this new car with the setups and everything, but he's been coming along slowly and making progress each and every week. We'll see what he has tonight as he's finishing up his first time lap.
Brad Bothwell crossed the line of that first lap. Will place him 9th quickest, but as you said, Devin, and as we're seeing pretty evidently with the times, these drivers are using that first lap to kind of get those tires up to temp. Even that second lap, for some of these drivers, is becoming a throwaway lap because they have 3 timed laps these drivers get to use. And these drivers, it's similar to Dover. I'm referencing Dover because it's, well, first of all, it's a 1 mile banked oval, similar to this. But also, it is just the track I just finished racing last night. And the car gets faster on that 3rd lap. I wish it was a 2-lap single car quality last night, but if I had a 3rd lap, that would have been the golden lap. And I'm starting to see that's really what these drivers are looking for here, and they have that opportunity with 3 laps. Bothwell, that 3rd lap, it puts him 6th quickest.
Yeah, it does. Really good lap from Bothwell there. But yeah, he went for it on his 3rd lap, Emerson, just like you were talking about. Got it on the 3rd lap, used the first 2 as kind of a setup, and that 3rd lap he tried to hug the bottom as best he could. It looks like he's kind of doing somewhat of a diamonding effect, very subtle diamonding effect, but it does look like Bothwell doing that diamond effect, letting the car kind of slide up in the center and then really cutting it off. I'm not sure if that's just his qualifying strategy or if that's just how he's going to run the race. These cars, again, all set up to where these drivers can like it. They can adjust anything. So it just may be the way his car likes to run this track.
Yeah, definitely. And I know it. And now in this term, it's not the same because it's nearly a symmetrical track. Dover is, but you do kind of want to run that diamond line. Maybe there's a little bit of a pickup from that, where you enter kind of low, and you ride up a little bit in the center of the corner, and then you kind of straight line the exit, diving low off of the corner as well. I don't know if that's necessarily what we're going to see tonight, but it worked out a little bit for Bothwell, who puts it 6th quickest. Probably one of his better qualifying attempts of the season, if I had to guess. I'd have to look back on the stat sheet to double check that. Jeremiah Stutzman's 2nd lap puts him 8th quickest. Here is his 3rd, though. And he is keeping it there. Those left sides right on top of that yellow line, but not under, not on it, not over it. Right on top of on the racetrack.
Yeah, that's so hard to do here. You can see he hit a bump right there. Just shot him up the track.
This lap's not going to be what he wants. It's quicker, but not enough to improve the positioning.
Yeah, you can see it right in the center of turn 3 and 4. He hit a bump and the car just went dead right. And he still had I'm sure he still had the wheel crank. It was just the lightness of the front end just shot the car straight for a second. And that's going to be so interesting to watch, especially if we get side-by-side racing during the race. You know, if that bump catches you out or any bump catches you out and you got a guy outside of you, it could be disastrous.
Timing ticking, or qualifying time ticking down to a close right now. It is Nicholas Shelton on the top of the timing sheets. 2 minutes left here in the session. Still plenty of time for somebody to get out there and run 3 laps if they wish. They'd probably have to get going right about now if that is the case. I see Nate Aldrich is out on the track and he is just pulled off the track, so he's not taken to the track now. We still have some time. With that being said, look at what's coming up next here on Pit Stop TV. Tomorrow afternoon here in the States, tomorrow night across the pond in the UK. British Sim Racers has their Touring Car Championship tackling the Watkins Glen Cup layout tomorrow afternoon. And again, those touring cars, I know the Miatas did battle. Some fantastic stuff, especially with those Miatas. It is a high-speed road course, lots of drafting in those Miatas. That was a fun showing. But tomorrow is going to be really interesting to see how those TCRs tackle the Cup course. And again, you know, we think of Watkins Glen for sports cars, usually the boot. Well, that's actually what we're going to be running here next Wednesday night, Devin. But before that, we have tomorrow night at Interlagos, or, you know, the Brazilian Formula One circuit. The North American Racing League takes their GT3 series there, and they will have their season finale in those GT3 cars tomorrow night. We started off with the 40-minute amateur race, and that points battle very, very tight. You got to come and check it out for yourselves. And then the pro battle after that, we have a pro and pro-am race, 50 minutes long, following that. And again, that's tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Sunday night, the MPI Cup Series is back in action. They were just at Dover this past week. They're at Darlington this Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You won't want to miss MPI from the track that is dubbed as Too Tough to Tame. And, of course, also coming up, British Sim Racers from Road Atlanta Tuesday afternoon at here in the States, 3 p.m. Eastern. And, again, Tuesday night across the pond in the UK before we tackle the Watkins Glen boot layout here for the Outlaws Sim Series next Wednesday night, Devin. Pratt Tire and Stone qualifying has ticked over. No other cars hooked to the track. What does that mean?
It is. It's ticked over, and the Pratt Tile and Stone Pole Award will be awarded to Nicholas Shelton. His first pole of the season, his first Pratt Tile and Stone Pole Award. Congratulations to Nicholas Shelton for being on pole and winning that award tonight. Pratt Tile and Stone serving Central Vermont since 2005.
Beautiful stuff. And as these drivers get ready to take to the grid, let's go ahead and work our way down the starting lineup. And how about row number 1? It'll be the B&G Motorsports teammates of Nicholas Shelton, Zoltan Hertzeg, row number 1. Row number 2, it'll be the 81 of Max Service, the 2 of Seth Fitzpatrick. Row 3, the 91 of Jonathan Jennings, the 31 of Brad Boffo. Row number 4, the 3 of Greg Holt, the 71 of Jeremiah Stutzman. And row number 5, it'll be the 22 of Jacob Reeves, the 77 of Seth Berger.
Row number 6, we'll see Robert Gianni in the 34 car to his outside Devin Smith in the 95. Row number 7, we'll see James Gilliard in the 33 and Adam Gardner, who we talked to pre-race, in the 56. Row number 8, we'll see Scott Bailey in the 11 and Derek McMurtry in the 84. And then row number 9, we will see Nathan Aldridge in the 14 and Andrew St. Pour in the number 12. And then row number 10, we'll see John Mickey in the 69 and Garrett Velzy in the 48, Emerson.
Row number 11 will find the 47 of Andrew Schroeder, the 96 of Matt Rogers. After putting it 4th on the practice charts, did not get that great of a qualifying spot. Row 12, it'll be the 93 of Kevin Powell, the 21 of Kevin Thompson. So Kevin's there in row 12. Row 13, it'll be the 82 of Adrian Schumacher, the 67 of Doug Solms, and that's going to round out our grid tonight, Devin. So a small field should help ease things out a little bit tonight as these drivers get ready to roll on their formation lap. Now, I know Dover is a 1 formation lap track. I'm not going to assume this one is going to be 2, but I will just be ready in case that does. Tonight, we have a 225 lap race in our hands. Stages are at the completion of lap 45 and the completion of lap 102 is the completion of stage number 2. Our weather, Adam alluded to it being a hot one. We are in the morning time in Sim, so it should be getting hotter as the day goes on. Devin, air temp 77 degrees about. Fahrenheit, the track temp 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds, well, they're about 9 miles an hour out of the southwest. And I am expecting VIRacing.com safety vehicle the driver of that safety vehicle to have their eyes on that pit entry on their left-hand side. And it does. The VIRacing.com safety vehicle in the safety pit lane. Nicholas Shelton, the pro driver, on the front row. We are racing from Varrock. 1 lap complete. Nicholas Shelton has opened up already. Well, he has a teammate, Zoltan Herzog, directly behind him. They've opened up already a second back to Max Service. They are absolutely gapping the rest of the field. Seth Berger had a little bit of a moment off of turn 2. He's under attack now from Robert Gianni, who's trying to clear by to 71 of Jeremiah Stutzman. This is the battle for 8th.
Yeah, and you see the 14 was dancing around there in the center of the turn. He was able to make the pass on Jeremiah Stutzman. Now he looks to the inside of Seth Berger, and you just, again, watch those bumps. If you're pinching the driver in the middle of the turn, you might have to watch it. That inside driver, you hit one of those bumps and come up and door you. Just the way that this track is, it is so difficult to race side by side here. Seth Berger has to give way, and he's gonna fall in right in front of Jeremiah Stutzman. But yeah, it is so difficult to get under someone here, and then let alone make the pass. Once you get underneath them, you can make the pass pretty easily. The outside is really hard to make work for you.
I see Jennings is starting to search on V81 of Max Service. Here he dives to the inside. Jennings got that run. He's going to dive it down here into turn number 1. Max gives plenty of room. Max is not up for a fight this early on in the going. They're only working lap 5 of 225. Max has his sights set on long run speed. Here comes the 2 of Seth Fitzpatrick and the 3 of Greg Holt, trying to make his appearance up inside the top 5, potentially if he can get by his 81 car. He's loose up off the corner.
Yeah, it looks like Greg tried to power it up a bit and just lost it off the corner. And, man, Bothwell really sent it right behind this battle in that 31 car. You saw 31 really get really close to Max, almost get onto the outside of the 14, or the 34 right in front of him. That was a very interesting move by Bothwell. It almost worked.
Max Service is starting to look like he's on a free fall through the running order. Was that maybe only a hot lap machine at number 81? He's dropped from 3rd, and he's now under attack for 6th by Robert Gianni in the 34 machine.
Well, we are in the morning, Emerson. You mentioned it at the beginning of the race. That we are starting in a morning session, and it could get hotter here. These drivers may have set up somewhat of a little bit tighter setup, maybe, thinking that it's going to loosen up as the track gets warmed up. So maybe Max, banking on the track warming up, maybe set his car a little bit tighter than he really wants it right now. We'll have to see once pit stops come out and make changes.
Gianni drives it up high on the entry. He dives it off on the exit. That is how you kind of get around people at these small tracks, similar to Dover. You got to drive it in hard, right up a little bit by the center of the corner, and then dive it off on the exit, get that crossover. Beautiful work from Gianni to get that spot from Max Service. Gianni now has his eyes forward on maybe his teammates that are just driving away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, he's really going to want to catch up to these guys in front of him, get up there with his teammates. And again, Max Service free falling through the field. His teammate Seth Berger also doing the same. He's lost another spot back to Brad Bothwell. Maybe these Swift Racing guys banking on this track, freeing up a bit on the long run. We'll have to see, but man, up here at the front, Nick Shelton and Zoltan Herzog really pulling away. They have 4 seconds on 3rd place right now, and there's a 2-horse race early here at Rockingham.
A little trouble back here. Looks like a little bit of right front damage already to the 48 of Garrett Velzy. Looking to see what he can do. And also Matt Rogers has lost the spot. But Garrett Velzy, that right front does not look healthy, and he is off the pace. Not entirely sure what happened. I imagine he just popped the wall maybe out of 2. That is probably the most likely.
I was trying to look back myself to see what happened. I don't see it. It looks like, maybe he just hit a bump wrong off a turn maybe, and got a little tight. It looks like, out of 2, it's really easy to do that. If you catch one of those bumps wrong, you can get tight and get the wall just a little bit. Hopefully he can get that replaced and it won't affect him too much. But right now it's probably going to affect him a little bit. That car's right front tire, you want to keep it safe here, and that damage isn't going to help at all.
Here's James Gilliard to the inside of Seth Berger, and beautiful scheme. Gilliard trying to back up a great run he had last week. He's already powered through Stutzman and Berger now. Gilliard has a little bit of short run speed for sure. Is he able to keep this up for the long run? I'd like to see this scheme do. I'd like to see Gilliard do well at this point. He's had some rough luck in the Outlaws Sim Series.
Yeah, he's been in a blackout
Oh,
car for the most
whoa! A
part.
couple
There's a
cars
car
just
behind
pound the
us.
wall back there. I believe that's the 84 McMurtry and the 95 of Devin Smith. They
Yes.
both pound the wall down.
But both of them out of two. I mentioned I think that is exactly where the 84 got damaged. I think these drivers just kind of gave us a clue to what possibly happened as they did it themselves. And you can see it looks very similar to the damage the 84 has. So I guarantee you that's exactly what happened. But
Oh no! John Mickey
Max.
hard into the outside wall. Big hit! Nathan Aldridge just spinning around on the back straightaway. Two cars parked on the back straightaway. Oh, Aldridge coming back across the track. And caution is out on the speedway. Goodness gracious.
What a miss from Doug Solms, able to keep it off of them as they were kind of parked right on the racing line. Luckily, they did reset early enough. I know he was just trying to get out of the way there. John Mickey was, but man, what a hit that was for John Mickey. He almost got airborne.
He got massive air, and he's already disconnected from the session. This is what happened to the 69. Just sideways, and
that's just lost it.
Big damage for Devin Smith as well. Aldridge, I think he didn't get any damage. He just kind of flat spotted those tires, trying to avoid damage. And Solms, what a dart from Solms to avoid that.
And Solms probably going to have to get some new tires as well. I don't think that those tires are going to be happy with him with the amount of brakes he had to put on to make that miss. But what a miss!
Yeah, just slid.
Yeah, it just slid on him. That is a rough hit, big hit, John Mickey, and just nothing Devin Smith could do on his outside.
Well, here we go. Pit stops underway. Jonathan Jennings has stayed out. Nicholas Shelton has pitted in with Zoltan Herzig. Did Herzig make the pass? Because Herzig's ahead of him.
I guess he did. It looks like he did. Maybe we missed that when we were talking about the wreck.
Oh, and Shelton misses the box.
Oh, that's not good either.
That's
he could lose
huge.
another spot here. But
Now,
they are the class of the field tonight, so
clearly they're fast enough to make that time up, but it's having to work through the traffic at not even close to losing a spot. And he has a teammate behind him as well, to help him out there.
Yeah, great stop for Gianni there. He picked up quite a few positions on that stop.
And so some people who stayed out here, the top 8 have stayed out. I'm actually surprised top 7 have stayed out here. I'm actually surprised that McMurtry stayed out since he got that right front damage. But Jonathan Jennings and Seth Fitzpatrick, Greg Holt, Jeremiah Stutzman, Adam Gardner, Jacob Reeves, and Derek McMurtry, the 7 drivers who have stayed out. Oh, and the lights are off on the safety car, Devin, which means we have choices being made.
Yeah, a lot of quick choices being made here. A couple of dives, trying to figure out where these guys want to be.
That caught me a little off guard. I was not expecting the safety car lights to come off that quickly, but we are already getting ready to get back to action here.
Yeah, we are. That was a quick caution here. I like it. We get back to racing.
Yeah.
And with these guys on older tires, it's going to make this front battle very interesting.
A lap to the caution period. So at that, and we were not ready to choose, I don't believe. So
okay.
Yeah, I think that caught race control off guard. Probably race control's probably looking elsewhere as well, which didn't help all of that. So should be able to get another round of choices made here.
Yeah, we'll see where these guys choose to be right here. I believe that inside lane is going to prevail. However, that leader could choose the outside to make it. Yeah, he does. Jennings chooses the outside.
So that change of a choice as a result of that.
Oh, wait, are they adding another lap?
Are they going to add another lap?
I don't see many people making a choice.
Yeah, I guess we were not ready to go at that, so...
Yeah, it looks like we added some more. So it looks like the caution was a little too quick for the drivers. They were not prepared to make the adjustment there. I think it should happen possibly next time by.
All right, we'll try this for the third time. So, Jonathan Jennings, Seth Fitzpatrick, Greg Holt, Jeremiah Stutzman, Adam Gardner, Jacob Reeves, Derek McMurtry, Zoltan Hertzeg, Nicholas Shelton, Robert Gianni, the first three on tires. Teammates all pitted. Let's try this again.
There we go. Choose rule this time. We're going to see Jennings does take the outside. It kind of breaks off, and everybody kind of goes opposite. Oh, there's a he dives to the inside. I think that was Max Service. But yeah, it looks like most people choosing the inside lane kind of prevailing here. But yeah, that's an interesting choice by Jennings. It looks like he just wants to fire off well, thinking that he can get an advantage firing off and then dive it into the turn, and that could give him a little bit of advantage going down the backstretch as well.
So here we go. Jonathan Jennings selected the outside lane. I wonder if that gives Greg Holt any advantage over Stutzman into the corner. And we'll see how long it takes for those B&G boys to rocket through the field as well on fresh tires. Now, you can go pretty long on tires here. I heard somewhere in the range of about 80 laps and higher. So we'll see what happens here. VIRacing.com safety vehicle is going to make that hard left-hand turn into the safety pit lane. And we are back to racing from the Rock. Well, Adam Gardner nearly palps the wall there off of 2. We can see if he can hold on to that machine. And Seth Fitzpatrick has dove back to the inside of Greg Holt. Holt got the advantage. He's still trying to make something happen on that outside. Sideways is the 3-car. Side by side for a second. Directly behind race leader Jonathan Jennings. Holt drives it deep into turn 1. Fitzpatrick trying to keep the power down the inside. And Holt trying not clear to second.
He is trying all his might to get clear to second. Doesn't want to be on the outside lane too much longer, but he is making this work. Another great run here through 3-4. He's going to clear him this time. Looks like he is finally clear and able to hang on to that second place spot. And Seth Fitzpatrick will have to settle for third. Behind them, though, the B&G fellas of Zoltan Hertzeg, Nicholas Shelton, are making their way forward up to 5th and 6th place respectively, as Jeremiah Stutzman now being passed.
I was going to say, don't look too soon. Here comes Hertzeg. And Hertzeg is powered by Stutzman now, setting his sights on Fitzpatrick, Holt, and Jennings directly in front of him. And like many others, staying in that 4th gear. You're not seeing anybody. Oh, here comes Fitzpatrick, maybe making a dive at Holt, and he backs out of it, which is going to bring him right back to Zoltan Hertzeg.
Yeah, that failed move puts him in the clutches of fresher tires right behind him. Hertzeg looks to the inside, not going to do it this time. Probably going to try and set him up off of this turn and get the pass made in the next turn. However, that is a big battle in front of him. I do not believe either one of those.
Big moments from Robert Gianni sideways. Oh, keep it off the track. Keep it off the track.
Hold it.
Oh, Bothwell!
Goodness.
Nearly teammates coming together there. Bothwell's going to lose a lot of time as a result of it, but he still has the car in one piece. Oh, nearly squeezes Schumacher to the wall. Schumacher way up the track as a result.
What a very interesting save that was from Gianni and from Bothwell. Crazy stuff happening there on the backstretch, and you pointed out at the beginning, that backstretch, something to watch out for, Emerson.
That's where the chaos happens. Thunder Alley, it says there on the back straightaway wall, and it is it was chaotic last season. Holt sideways. Here comes Zoltan Hertzeg on defending series champ Greg Holt. Caution on the Speedway.
34.
34. Robert Gianni, has he had another one?
Yeah, he was off the pace. I'm not sure what happened.
Oh, and well, we have found it. Let's see if it is worthy of a yellow. I only saw one car stopped back there. This is the overhead view. Let's see what happened to Robert Gianni. And
yeah, so this is after the incident on the previous lap. The 14 got into him. He was loose to begin with,
right,
but he got a little help there to go all the way around. The 14 and the 34 coming together. But yeah, that 34 was, that car does not like turn 2 right now.
Robert Gianni was in trouble. He had that moment then on the back straightaway. absolutely heated up the tires. Those tires were really hot. And you can see here, not agreeing with him, on the throttle too early off the corner on the hot tires, and Aldrich had nowhere to go.
Yeah, Gianni was already fighting the car off of turn 2 there. And the 14, yeah, just nowhere to go for him. Unfortunate, both of them are going to get the black flag. That's how it works here in the Outlaw Sim Series. Both the drivers that bring out the yellow get a EOL penalty. So unfortunate for the 14, but that is the rules.
So a couple takers on pit road, not many. All towards the back of the field. I want to talk to Greg Holt, driver of the number 3, if I have that opportunity. And no, I do not have that opportunity. Oh, there goes that. Let's go ahead and talk to, I guess, the driver then who's been moving up through the field. The highest running driver of that B&G Motorsports group, Zoltan Hertzeg. Zoltan, that planned to pit on the last caution. It only set you back about 7 spots, but how you feeling about it?
Not too bad. I feel like I just got to buy my time and try to pick my way through the field. I felt really quick. This setup seems really fast, so pretty excited about the rest of the race. Just take my time and don't wreck.
What's that dynamic been like between you and Nick, as Nick was kind of leading the charge up until a couple laps before that yellow came out, and then obviously the pit stops happened. Y'all ended up behind the cars who stayed out. But what's that dynamic been like, I guess, at front and now working through the field with the 38?
Yeah, we were just trying to save tires, and then I kind of see my opportunity. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get up there, get a bonus point or whatever, and we were able to kind of switch off like that, and then.
All right.
Yeah.
So you were already moving through the field. I'm sure you didn't want to see the yellow because that obviously impedes your progress a little bit. This will be, I guess, the first cycle of heat on your tires, on this set of tires. You think you still have what it takes to get through the 3 and the 91 ahead of you?
I hope so. I didn't feel like there was a huge difference in tires, so I'm gonna try to keep that in my mind for later in the race. But I'm hoping we can get around them. That'd be awesome.
Sure thing, and I guess that's another important point. Might as well learn now as you have information for later. I guess the choices are being made now, Zoltan, so we will leave you to it. Best of luck to you, driver. Hopefully we're talking to you a little later on.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Driver of the number 39, Zoltan Hertzeg, and the choose rule in effect, and choices being made there on the front straightaway. Hertzeg starts behind race leader Jonathan Jennings on the inside lane.
Yeah, and Jennings choosing the inside lane this time. He chose the outside last time. I'm not sure he got the start that he wanted to on that last restart. So choosing the inside this time, we'll see how good it fares. He does have those 2 really fast cars directly behind him, though.
Getting ready to get back to racing from the Rock. Jonathan Jennings, Greg Holt, they're on a 25 lap older tires than Zoltan Hertzeg behind. The iRacing.com safety vehicle find its safety in the pit lane, and we are racing once again from Rockingham. And Greg Holt chopped Zoltan Hertzeg's nose off in turn 3. Now Holt under attack from both of the B&G teammates. Hertzeg and Shelton ready to pounce.
Yeah, and,
near
Hertzeg
contact.
gives him a bump down the backstretch.
It was
he gives
contact.
him a bump down the backstretch. I was saying he's giving him. He's like, all right, hey, I'm here, man. I got fresh tires. Let me by. Next time probably won't be so pretty. We'll have to see how Greg Holt plays this. Greg Holt is not the one to give up a spot very easily, though. He's going to make you pass him. And here's Hertzeg again, a good run off of turn 2.
Absolutely, and you got to think, well, I guess you'd have to think in Greg Holt's shoes. Yeah, we're now 10 races in, 10 races complete. The season after you just won the title in this league. You know, he certainly doesn't want to go up second this easy, even if he has the disadvantage on tires. Zoltan kind of drives him up the track a little bit, with that car, plays it sideways, and around goes the 39 with the 3. Back across the track, he collects the 2.
Big wreck. Big wreck.
Oh, the 77 to Seth Berger involved.
That was a monster wreck at the front of the field with right after
Matt Rogers involved.
Matt Rogers. He was fast tonight too. Didn't have a good qualifying, but he was really fast in practice. Set on some great lap times, and his car looks done for the night. Greg Holt. I told you that next bump would not be so pretty.
Well, I expected it actually the other way around. I think Greg just got sideways, but let's go ahead and look at what happened. This is overhead, off the corner. Yeah, he did just get sideways.
Yeah, sideways.
You look like Sean Fitzpatrick and Berger. They just got clipped there.
And it's amazing that there were any more. Oh, Greg sliding up the track here.
No, you have to hold the brakes there, man. I know you're frustrated.
Yeah. But... Man, that was
caution's
that
already
could
out.
have been a lot worse. That could have been way worse.
Absolutely. Let's see what we can get here on the static shots around the track, and here we go. Should be a nice little shot of what happens up there in the Hertzeg. And we'll see. That's where Fitzpatrick gets clipped, Berger clipped. Oh my goodness! Right up across the track. Good avoidance from Gilliard. Oh no!
There's Rogers.
Rogers, did he just get sideways and drive up the track?
Yeah, maybe he locked it up on the pit or on the entry of the turn, and it just did not cooperate when he got into the turn.
It's right on board with him here. So this is approaching the incident. Way up the track, or way up ahead, you'll see a bright blue car. And that's where it starts. Smoke. And he's still throttling up towards the smoke.
Right there, that little correction to miss Fitzpatrick. That little correction to miss Fitzpatrick upset the car on entry.
I don't want to, criticize these drivers too much, but I'm gonna say that it was more self-inflicted. I mean, you see the smoke how long down the back straightaway. You gotta lift at some point.
Yeah, you gotta play it smart. You gotta play the long game. We're only 39 laps. We were 37 laps into the race at that point. You got to play the long game, play it smart. Guys in front of you are going to be checking up. And this happened right in the front of the field, and it was a big stack up of cars. So you got to be smart about it. And, not being smart, gassing it up. That was Adam Gardner who got a piece of him as well.
Oh, man.
But
so Devin Smith also got a piece.
Yeah, that little gassing it up to try and make up some positions possibly, and then that late correction getting into the turn just upset the car, and around he goes.
I believe we're coming to the choose here, and this is the choose. And Nicholas Shelton has ended up down the running order a little bit, and Shelton came back in the pit lane, topped off on fuel. So
I think he had just a bit of nose damage as well.
Right, I guess maybe that was more, to come in and check the damage. What this does do is this puts Jonathan Jennings now up front, Max Service to his outside, who still have yet to pit, along with Stutzman, Gilliard, Bothwell, Reeves, and cannot confirm that they haven't pitted. They had a little bit of a reset there, but Jennings has not pitted. I know that for sure. And let's see what Max Service does on this outside. Stutzman and Gilliard. Gilliard just barely making it through that incident, up in fourth. I'm sure he's very appreciative for the luck he had there. And Brad Bothwell. Two B&G cars kind of trading out with the other two B&G cars in the top 5. Back to racing from Rockingham. for the race lead. Max Service around the outside. Stutzman backs out. Service trying to get to the outside, but Jennings will prevail.
It looks like Service realized he was 3 wide as well, and he was like, I'm gonna back out of this, and he got squeezed.
Service really trying to do it around the outside. He doesn't want to get pinned down on the bottom. Look at this, though. He's trying to dart off the corner. Can't get down there. Jennings holding station up front.
I think Service sees his opportunity to take the lead here and try to escape before Nicholas Shelton can get back through these cars. Nicholas Shelton all the way back up to 6th place now, just trying to get through these cars. Bothwell in front of him, then James Gilliard. So Max is like, I need to escape and get out in front as far as I can now.
Shelton up to 5th. Brown Bothwell now looks on Gilliard. And Service now, I think he's lost a little bit of that edge off the start. He's got a great run down the back straightaway here. Can he dive it into 3? Jennings blocks.
And I think Jennings has the same notion. He needs to stay out front because he knows that 38 car's coming as well. But all this is doing with this battling is letting that 38 car get closer and closer.
Gotten by Gilliard.
Yep, and then Jeremiah Stutzman also, but a great run from Max. He's to the inside.
How hard will Jennings drive it in to maintain that position? On the outside, he drives it in hard on the outside. He's going to try to use the hill for momentum. Max trying to keep it pinned on the inside. Side by side for race lead. Here comes Shelton on Stutzman right behind.
Yeah, and Shelton on Stutzman gets and completes the pass. Now he's right behind this battle for the lead. Will he try to stick his nose in there, make it 3 wide? He has a little bit of a run, but not able to do it this time. But Jennings goes up to the high side. The 38 to the inside. He will take 2nd. Max is in the lead, but for how long?
Service clears to the lead. Here comes Shelton. Nicholas Shelton on probably fresher tires, but definitely he's topped off on fuel. He's set for a while. How aggressive will he be to try to get back around the 81? Max bobbles off the corner. Here comes Shelton to the inside.
Yeah,
and Shelton clears easy.
That bobble was all he needed to get into the inside, make it an easy pass relatively for the lead. Now, will the 38 set sail? We know he's fast. He's the fastest car on track. I fully expect to see that 38 set sail in the clean air. Max Service right now, he's going to have to bide his time, try and save the tires as best as he can, and keep touch with this leader.
And Gilliard is powered by Jennings. This is Gilliard clearing up into 4th and having his sights set on Stutzman. Gilliard, the last 2 weeks, or at least last week and then into this week, have been some phenomenal running so far. Is this the turn that Gilliard needed? You know what I noticed? This driver's already back in the top 10 now, looking for 8th on Adam Gardner, Zoltan Hertzeg.
Yeah, Zoltan, he got some damage from that incident, but he has such a fast race car underneath him. That Ford Mustang very tuned up tonight, and he's trying to make the pass on Adam Gardner, but Gardner not making it easy on him. He's fighting him. Gardner's in the top 10, Emerson. He's got to fight him.
Absolutely. Gardner having a great run as well. And he does get cleared there by Zoltan Hertzeg. And you heard he just wants to try to finish. I'm sure he's grinning right now. While that was going on, I also realized, I guess Jennings was fighting really hard there for the stage victory. The Max Service took the lead after the stage ended, that first stage. And Nicholas Shelton now leads. But that was heavy fighting for the stage victory, and then that makes a bit more sense in that context.
Yeah, that makes more sense there, why they were fighting so hard for the lead. Get those extra bonus points that will really help come playoff time. And right now, though, Max Service, he's not really lost too much time. Jeremiah Stutzman has cleared Max Service, by the way. But they really haven't lost too much time to the leader, Nick Shelton, at the moment, but he is starting to pull away just ever so slightly.
Nicholas Shelton has opened up a 2nd advantage over Jeremiah Stutzman. Max Service falls back to 3rd. Hertzeg working on Scott Bailey. Can he get clear? He will clear. Yep.
Yeah, we'll complete that pass relatively easy there. Scott Bailey having another good run tonight in that 11 machine. Losing out, though, to Zoltan Hertzeg at the moment. And he has Brad Bothwell right in front of him. Bothwell after a decent qualifying, one of his best of the season, trying to learn this new car and learn the setups for these new cars, finally puts it in a decent position, and he's held on so far to 6th place. He's been he's been as low as 14th. I think that was after the cautions and everything, but he's kind of maintained where he qualified.
And we might have lost a Greg Holt, and I believe so. Greg Holt was actually still running up inside the top 10. So Greg Holt is either manually disconnected or lagged out of the session, but there is no the 3 car is no longer connected to the session.
Yeah, maybe trying to give it a go, see what the car's capable of, and just learning that he's not competitive, and decides to park it for the night. Unfortunate for Greg Holt, he's, again, the defending champion, and so far this season, it has not been his season. And Nate, another one of those cars involved in one of these incidents.
He has not had any luck this season, Nate Aldrich. He's coming into the series. This is a rookie in the Outlaws Sim Series, and gonna pull off and maybe some damage repaired, and no tires going on the car.
He's getting out. Yeah.
I think he's gonna make that exit with Greg Holtz.
Yeah, I was waiting to see if he was going to call it there, and he decided to. But, yeah, Nicholas Shelton out here out front, almost a 2-second gap now. It's 1.8.
Oh, wreck on the back straightaway! Scott Bailey, hard contact with the outside wall. I think we're staying green, but 3 wide behind. Schumacher and Gianni. To make something happen here.
Yeah, Scott Bailey's really hurt. That car is really slow right now comparatively to where he was. He's struggling to keep pace with these guys.
So you can get a replay and see what happened. Unfortunately, I think there's some damage to Adam Gardner's car as a result of this incident. Let's go ahead and take a look. So Scott Bailey on the high side, Gardner on the bottom side. What happened? Gardner slid up on the entry. Bailey trying to power it up, hits the bumps on the exit. Oh, a little bit of net-coated contact with that.
Yeah, I think that was just net-coated contact. Doesn't look like Gardner's car was affected too much, but definitely Scott Bailey was. And then you see the big stack up behind him.
Here we go. The battle for third is going on as well. James Gilliard has lost out to Zoltan Hertzeg. Hertzeg now looking on max service. Service trying to keep it pinned on the bottom. And Gilliard under attack from Jennings. It was the other way around just 10 laps or so ago. Jennings being passed by Gilliard.
Yeah, and if I wonder if Gilliard's used up a little too much tire so far. That's be the one of the biggest explanations of, he was really fast on the short run. Maybe this car not so fast on the long run.
Hertzeg looking to make easy work of point leader Max Service. And Service trying to dart right there in line in between the B and G cars.
He darts in between. Max Service gets by him. And now Zoltan Hertzeg up into one of the podium positions. Now he's got his sights set 2 seconds ahead on Jeremiah Stutzman. He's got to make up some ground, but he is doing it in a hurt race car. But man, those cars are fast.
Gilliard, big bobble up off the corner. Here comes Jennings.
I think Gilliard's losing the handle on that 33 car. He's also possibly going to lose out to Brad Bothwell if he's not careful. Bothwell, though, bobbles off of turn 4.
Gardner way up the track.
Yeah, these drivers really struggling now with these cars.
I wonder if Gardner has damage.
I was going to say the temperature has risen a great deal, almost 6-7 degrees hotter than it was at the start of the race now. So we could see this track really loosening up, and that's starting to catch the strokes. There's the 34. Oh, man, that was tight.
The winds aren't helping at all either. 13 to 50 mile an hour winds not helping these cars any over those bumps as they get light.
They are not. And with this hot, slick racetrack and these winds, it's just going to make it that much more difficult for the rest of the way.
Scott Bailey in trouble. Car up in the wall. It's the 84 McMurtry right ahead. And Bailey now way off the pace. 16th.
Yeah. And he's just dropping further and further back, just trying to keep pace, but maybe trying to bite and buy out a caution is just not coming for him right now. But with the way that's going right now, I wouldn't say it's going to be too much longer before we might see one.
You have to say, though, lots of passing, lots of action out there right now. Even though we've gotten pretty spread out, there's still plenty of potential battles shaping up here. As we've now, I think,
there are.
Yeah, I think we've gone about 20, 25, 30 laps into yellow now.
Yeah, there are a lot of battles, and it's quite surprising. Rockingham is really hard to pass just because of the bumps. Once you get to the inside, the outside lane normally just has to give up the spot, but we've seen people being able to fight on that outside lane, but at the expense of possibly burning up their tires. So Max Service again giving away to Jonathan Jennings now. So that's something to keep in mind. You know, you can battle, but at what expense? And how long are those tires going to hold on?
So we already had just 2 drivers not even start tonight's race. And then so far we have out of the race Nathan Aldrich, Greg Holt. Devin Smith is actually not out of the race. He's still out here, but he is 17 laps down. He's looking to get that spot from Holt and Aldrich soon. So Smith will get into the top 20 and in the 19th, even just running out here with that car. Matt Rogers is also out, Garrett Velzy, and John Mickey.
Yeah, and John Mickey again. He was caught up in an early incident. He's not in the session. Did he even take the green?
Yeah, he was. He had that first incident there where he absolutely clobbered Devin Smith.
That's it. Yep. So he called it quits after that. But James Gilliard again falling back. He now gives way to Seth Fitzpatrick.
Well, I don't know about giving way. Look at this. Oh,
he tried to get the run, but I think he's not going to get there.
Yeah,
that was a brilliant effort to try to do the over/under, but not going to work that time for this Corvette, the Chevrolet Corvette tribute paint job on the number 33 car. Brad Bothwell also falling back a little bit. He's not been able to get around Gilliard, and he's lost out on a couple of spots. Another one of those B&G teammates, though, the 34 of Rob Gianni, he is starting to make his way back up through the pack.
Gianni up into the 8th position, cleared by Jacob Reeves. Adam Gardner holding station at 11th position. Adrian Schumacher directly behind, though. Schumacher not having the day he's wanted, but I think, as far as ovals go, this might be one of those tracks I figured Schumacher might excel. Oh, we got a car spinning! Derek McMurtry pounds the inside wall.
Yeah, that's not the first time that 84 has been caught out by turn number 2 and Thunder Alley. I think that's probably a 4th or 5th time that 84 has been caught out there. He is not having a day to remember at the moment. Such a tough day for the 84.
See what happens to Derek McMurtry. Up off the corner, bobbles, and not a fun ride at all.
No, and hitting that inside wall, I feel like is worse, than collecting the outside wall. Normally, the outside wall is going to be a side swipe, kind of like a Darlington straight, but the inside wall is definite nose damage, and he's really going to feel that.
Race leader Nicholas Shelton has 6.7 advantage on this field. Oh goodness. I mean, what do you expect when you put a pro driver out here? This is domination, to say the least. He's got 2 lap cars in front of him here, though. This is a battle going on that is... I think that's Kevin Thompson and Scott Bailey. Kevin Thompson does get that spot from Scott Bailey for 15th. So it's Nicholas Shelton lapping the 16th place driver, Scott Bailey. And he'll go on by.
Yeah,
Not easily.
He's really got to buy his time. He's really got to buy his time and get by these cars. There looks like a car, the car in front of him got up in the wall, but
Yes,
he's got to buy his time.
He's got plenty of time to take. He can sit behind one of these cars a couple laps and let him figure it out too. He's off.
That's what he needs to do. Just let them figure. Oh, the 21. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't know if maybe he. I doubt he pressed the issue. I think that was more Kevin Thompson trying to give way and not you starting up there. But there's no need to press the issue at that. This much of a gap at that. Let the lap cars work themselves out. Oh, and Schumacher just popped. So I was just about to look at him try to get on Adam Gardner here.
Yeah, it looks like I said, you hit that outside wall. It's not too bad. You can still continue. Not too much damage to the 82, but yeah, that's a nice little pop, but it's not too damaging.
Oh, here we go. At the moment. Second place, and it changes easily. Hertzeg powers by Stutzman.
Yeah, Hertzeg was catching him so fast. I think Stutzman just let him go there, knowing that this 38 and this 39 are kind of the class of the field tonight. The 39 is a little bit damaged, but it doesn't seem to slow him down to at least get him back into second.
Gardner drove it hard into the center corner. Here comes Schumacher, a run, but he bobbles.
Yeah, he bobbles a bit, but he's not able to complete the pass. But man, Gardner's trying to hang on as well. He's fighting so hard to stay up here, sitting in 11th place. Doesn't want to give it up, fall too far back. But he has his hands full with his car as well. He can't get to the bottom anymore, Emerson.
I think he's purposely running up there. Look at Schumacher. Even though Schumacher gets down there, he can't put the power down.
Yeah, and I think Schumacher's got to set him up, follow him into the turn up high, and then dive it down low. Like we've been saying all night long, that's kind of how you got to get this pass.
He can't get the power down. There's too many bumps down there. I think this is intentional from Gardner to run this line.
Very good defensive line. If that's the case here, Schumacher gets the memo there, falls in line, going to get the run off of turn number 4.
Is it going to be enough? He's inside now.
Yeah, he's there. I believe he's got him this time.
I think Gardner, once he got down there, he let him go, but he's going to fend him off as much as he can.
Yeah, that was a good battle there from Adam Gardner, but eventually the 82 is going to really he went out in that one. But man, he had to work for it. He definitely had to work for it. Now it's Andrew St. Cour's turn.
Andrew St. Cour had that great run at Iowa a couple weeks ago. Not that these tracks perfectly translate, but there might be a little bit of resemblance. I guess. Oh my goodness, Adam Gardner way up the track.
Well, he hit the wall. He got the wall there.
You know, he mentioned that was a pretty awkward line into the corner. He bobbled off a 2, took a low line into the corner, and it shot up the track. I don't know if I doubt he intended to do that. I mean, I don't know what the state of his personal issue is, but I hope that didn't alter the way he had to take that corner there. Obviously personal health comes first. This is, at the end of the day, just pixels. But that was a weird bobble off of 2 and then a weird line into the corner. He had plenty of time to come back up the track. So, intriguing. Seth Berger getting up into this, but here comes the race leader as well.
Yeah, and I think that is, again, just a product maybe of the personal issues, the personal health issues. Yeah, maybe this is a rough track. It is very taxing. Oh, he bobbles again on the straightaway getting into the turn.
Like Dover, it is a physical track.
It's a very physical track. It could be just taking its toll now over the long run. But, I mean, there are quite a bit of cars out of the race. So he is going to get somewhat of a decent finish. As long as he can keep it under him here and keep moving, that car should get a decent finish on the day. Again, the leader's right behind him now.
Stage 2 will conclude at the completion of lap 102. Gardner's going to pinch the leader down hard. He is fighting for that lucky dog. Or, I'm sorry, fighting for his lead lap, and I was going to be fighting for the lucky dog with Seth Berger.
Yeah, he is, and man, he really managed Shelton.
He tried.
Not making it easy. I'm not sure Shelton liked that one too much, but yeah, when you have an 8-second lead, maybe that's not too bad. Nobody wrecks. You can move on. You got by him. Get on about your day. But man, he made it tough.
Man, I bet there's a little bit of a grin there. Adam Gardner kind of pinching the pro driver down there. Must have been maybe anxious, maybe some anxiety there too. Adam Gardner now, the first car one down, having to fend off Seth Berger. As things start to tighten up here for fourth. Max Service heading Jonathan Jennings and Seth Fitzpatrick. They're all within 1 second of one another.
Yep, they're all there right together, and
Stutzman.
This is kind of the closest battle on the track. They're really spreading out now.
4-car battle for third. This is what this is becoming.
Yeah, and Stutzman got away from Max quite a bit. Now he's falling back into Max. Max's car may be coming to him here at the end of the run. And, yeah, that could be a thing as we see the 11 car finally on pit road after that massive hit. And that's a lot of damage he's going to have to fix if he's going to get it. I will see here. Is he going to take the damage repair? It looks like
more than likely. Max Service now on Jeremiah Stutzman.
Yeah, Max not able to get the run on that turn. He's going to have to really set it up. In this turn, he runs high into turn number 1. Here, turn number 2, dives it down low, tries to get the run off. Not going to be able to get there this time, but he can try that move again. And this turn runs a little bit higher to the back bumper now.
Service painting the back bumper of Jeremiah Stutzman's car as Jennings and Fitzpatrick trying to close that gap as well.
And Max working on Stutzman. He's really eating it. Having to work over the 71, and man, that's a huge run through the center of the turn.
But what do you do in the center of the corner? Now you lose all that run.
Oh my gosh, that was a huge run. I'm not sure what happened to Stutzman there, but the 81 right to the back bumper of the 71.
Well, that goes on. We got a battle for 10th side by side. Reeves trying to fend off Schumacher. Reeves way up the track. Schumacher falls back for now.
Yeah, and another good battle here. Schumacher's going to have to work him over like he did Gardner earlier in this race as we see the number 2 car of Seth Fitzpatrick get around the 91 of Jennings. Max Services was passed by both of these drivers at one point and has successfully made those passes back. And again, now looking on Jeremiah Stutzman.
Look the peak there. Fitzpatrick by Jennings. This is now Reeves trying to fend off Schumacher. These are the last drivers on the lead lap. And also, this is an important battle for 1 stage point. Coming up in 3 laps here. Also, that's what Max Service is fighting for. He's got the run on Stutzman here.
Yeah, set him up perfectly that time. He looks like he's going to have him cleared before they get into the next turn. Is he going to hold it down there? Stutzman, maybe. No, he's not going to try the over-under. And just has to fall back in line at the moment as Schumacher now trying to make his move on Reeves for 10th.
Trying to get that bottom to settle there. Schumacher trying to clear by Reeves. He's ahead, but he's not clear. Reeves drives in hard around the outside.
Very hard drive in from Reeves. He's able to maintain it.
And Schumacher's loose.
And maintaining the spot is Jacob Reeves, the leader. Is that the leader right behind these guys?
Yes,
Man,
it is.
This is getting interesting for Shelton. He's got another big battle to deal with as he's trying to lap into the top 10 now.
And the battle for stage points. Schumacher is actually going to let Shelton go, which is effectively going to end his bid for stage points. Fitzpatrick to the back bumper of the 71. 1 lap to go in that battle for 4th. Nicholas Shelton now travels down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4 for the final time in stage number 2. And Nicholas Shelton will win stage 2 here at Rockingham. And we got a battle. Here we go. Fitzpatrick by Stutzman. Hertzeg will finish 2nd. Service easily 3rd. Stutzman is very slow off the corner, so we get a drag race for 5th. Stutzman will get 5th behind Fitzpatrick, 4th ahead of Jennings, 6th Gilliard, Bothwell, Gianni, and Jacob Reeves, the top 10.
And Reeves finally gotten passed by the leader. He is the first car lap down, but he is back under attack from Adrian Schumacher right on his tail bumper.
And Stutzman's coming in right after the stage.
And I think Stutzman used up his tires to try and get as much as he could at the beginning of the run. And he is called it quits now. He wants to get in, get fresh rubber, get fuel, and get back out there on the track. First one of our leaders to come down pit road. A little bit of a different strategy we see out of the 7. Normally he's the last one to pit.
You know, there's some experimentation going on. That 71 parks it in the box. And there's the right side. Obviously, it should be 4 tires for easily everyone here. And Jacob Reeves pits.
Yeah,
So
I think Jacob Reeves is pitting here to cover off Adrian Schumacher, trying to maybe jump him on an early pit. So this is Reeves trying to take the jump and maintain his top 10 once he comes back out and we cycle through. Also, Jonathan Jennings is in.
Jennings down the pit lane. And Jacob Reeves missed his box by a mile. Had to reverse a lot. Put it back in the box.
And that's not going to that's not going to do him any favors, you know, trying to hold on to 10th.
Doug Solms is coming down pit lane in his number 67 machine. And looking for some front runners to come down. Everybody's still out there for the time being of the drivers on the lead lap. Jennings is down and away, a 16.08. His box time. Stutzman out there with a 15.3 and way out there. No takers to the pit lane just yet. Gilliard was pretty slow at the center of the corner, but he continues on.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'll keep a check on the lap times here that these guys on fresh rubber are running compared to those who have not pit. We see Stutzman catching up to Hertzeg, who has been one of the class cars of the field today, even with damage on that 39 machine. But you can see the 71 just way faster on brand new rubber. Actually, he got kind of cut off there, had to go and take the high line around the 39, but yeah, way faster on fresh tires right now, and I'm going to get the lap times once they come around.
Here's a trio that has yet to pit. Service, Fitzpatrick. I'm sorry, Jennings has pitted. This is Jennings working his way by these drivers that he should then come out ahead of. Max is going to go ahead and chop Jennings off here up off the corner, make him work, use those tires a little bit. Jennings down to the inside. And clears by Max Service. That's not for position. But I wonder if that'll draw them down to pit lane this time by.
Yeah, I wonder if that'll bring them in. They know that these guys are faster, and they're going to be losing time overall. But is it a matter of, let them burn their stuff up early? I will catch them in the long run. This has definitely become somewhat of a strategy race, Emerson.
Certainly, you know what? Stutzman and Jennings are 2 drivers I know for sure that stayed out this entire race, I'm pretty sure. So that might have been the first stop for them, just with all the caution laps. I think that was just their first stop of the day. So now Adrian Schumacher is on the pit lane. Now we're getting to people who, a little bit of a blink there, people who now have already made that stop at that first yellow. So that's why everybody else is staying out that much longer.
Yeah, I'm looking back through the lap times now. It does look like Jonathan Jennings quite a bit faster on fresh tires. He has the fastest lap now. Seth Fitzpatrick says the fastest lap, about half a second faster than the leader, Nick Shelton, who has been a class car of the field all day. So that just kind of gives you a mindset on what fresh rubber can do. About a half a second, and it seems like. The next drivers that should be coming in are these front runners: Gilliard, Max Service, Brad Bothwell. These drivers should be coming in. And then it's the next set of drivers who pitted under that last caution: Nick Shelton, Zoltan Hertzeg, Seth Fitzpatrick, Robert Gianni, Andrew St. Cour, and Seth Berger. Also Kevin Thompson.
Gilliard into the box. So we wait. Now the lefts. Still no signs of pit stops from the front runners. Everybody's staying out there. Gilliard will file behind Stutzman and Jennings before he even gets the pit speed exit. And Schumacher powers by Gilliard as well. Gilliard had a really slow pit entry for what it's worth.
Yeah, just trying to be safe. You know, it is an awkward pit road to get down, so maybe just trying to be a little bit more safe and not have a pit road penalty kind of derail your race here. You can make, you know, maybe trying to make stuff up on the track. You know, that's just kind of how you have to do. These guys who have stayed out, though, Max Service and them, I wonder when they're going to come into pit because they've been out there for about 100 laps now.
I don't know if they. Yeah, you're right.
There's been caution laps in that, but they've been out there for about 100 laps, and there's 108 laps to go. So they safe?
I think absolutely you have to. You got to go as long as... Oh, sideways! There's Kevin Thompson directly in front of these guys. You got to go as long as you can to put yourself in a position to potentially one-stop it. Is it possible? I don't know. You guys are still staying out. Nobody makes a dart to pit lane that time.
Yeah,
Kevin Thompson does.
Away. There goes Kevin Thompson. That's 106 to go. I have to think that Brad Bothwell and Max Service, the only two guys on that last strategy, have not pit. I have to believe that those two are trying to save everything they can to make it on one more stop.
I wonder how many caution laps they would need to make that work. That is another question. Or would they need any? I don't know. How much longer can they go?
Because we did have, I think, about 4 or 5 caution laps. They're on lap 103 now. There is 105 to go. So maybe if they can make it to lap 100, then they should be okay to make it to the end. But, man, I think that's going to be somewhat of a stretch. But we'll have to see. They're still not coming down.
Kevin Thompson has a really long box time. They get 2 sets of tires there. 41 seconds. I saw the right side jack up a couple times, maybe. Or maybe I'm seeing things. The 41 seconds in the box, that was not fun for Kevin Thompson. Jacob Reeves is...
Oh, Reeves is stuck.
And he's stuck in the inside wall.
Put it in reverse. There we go. Okay. And I think that's just a single car incident, so no caution as of yet. He's off the track. Now getting back on the track, but he is out of the way. I believe that we are going to stay green, so no caution.
Oh, boy.
I think that would have helped out these guys, Max Service and all of them, but definitely Max Service because he's getting in danger of going a lap down now. But
off the corner. Just a single car accident.
Yeah, it's a big hit, too, on both the outside and inside walls.
He was stuck there for a moment. I don't know if he was actually stuck in the wall or couldn't put it in the right gear.
I think he was trying to get it in the right gear, and it just was not going in the correct gear. All right, so 107 laps on this, and I am hearing on the radio the 81 is pitting this time. Max Service, we should see come down,
Fitzpatrick.
And Fitzpatrick.
Patrick was not, and Boff was coming in as well. Here we go.
Yep. I believe this is the call. Can they make it to the end from here is the question. I'm not sure about the drivers who pitted a little bit earlier than them. I think these guys tried to stretch it as long as they could to make sure they could make it. And Fitzpatrick is one of those who was on a similar strategy to Shelton Hertzeg and all of those who pitted on the very last caution. So he's pitting early. Compared to those who pitted with him on the last caution. So maybe he knows that, hey, I can make it to the end from here. I'm going to go ahead and pit early and try and see what I can pick up.
Sure, I think that's some validation that they can make it to the end. If somebody who didn't have to pit at that moment came down to pit. Probably some validation. But continue on. Nicholas Shelton still has yet to pit on this run. And actually, no. Jeremiah Stutzman then is the driver who is leading those who have pitted. I don't think he's gonna be able to make it on fuel, but I wonder what can he save, or how long can he go before a yellow potentially would have to come out to save him here.
Yeah, we do call him master of kind of the long run, the saving, the awkward, strategy calls is the 71 car, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But man, what that would be if he made a really good call here. But with the pace that Max Service is setting right now, I don't know if he's going to stay too far in front of those who pitted behind him. He is just a little bit down the road from Max Service and those who have just pitted.
So drivers who have still yet to pit on this pit cycle: Nicholas Shelton, Zoltan Hertzeg, Robert Gianni, Andrew St. Cour, and Seth Berger. Everybody else has pitted on this cycle of pit stops in some way, shape, or form. And here comes the 34 of Robert Gianni.
And Gianni, the second one of those who was on the third strategy, I guess you could call it. The ones who pitted on the last caution. We saw Fitzpatrick come down, was part of that, and now we see Gianni as the second driver of those who pitted under that caution to come down.
Already throttled up and ready to pin it when he can. Max Service does get on by, though. Down and away is the 31 of Gianni.
And this shows the speed of the brand new tires on those out laps. You can really set down some fast times.
Is Shelton coming in? No, I think that's just how he has to take the corner. I heard him
on him now.
I heard him off the throttle into turn 3, and I thought, oh, I guess he's working down pit lane. But no, that was how old the tires are. Bothwell's back into pit lane.
I wonder why Bothwell's back. He pitted.
There's some left side damage. Look at that.
Ooh. Oh no! I wonder if the brand new tires caught him out, trying to get the air pressures up. What a heartbreak there for the 31 car.
Faster position, Seth Berger on Andrew St. Cour. They still have yet to pit. And Seth Berger, the first car, 1 lap down.
Yeah, he puts himself in the lucky dog position should there be a caution. There are only, at the moment, 2 cars on the lead lap. That is Nicholas Shelton and Zoltan Hertzeg. Everybody else at least 1 lap down. But we are in the middle of pit cycle, and
the leader is in.
Yep, there we go. So they are one of the few that haven't pitted. Here's the leader. I fully expect to see Zoltan Hertzeg come in very soon as well.
NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series driver Nicholas Shelton putting on a clinic tonight in the Outlaws Sim Series. He'll box for his fresh set of tires. Zoltan Hertzeg stays out and will lead a lap. And Zoltan Hertzeg is coming down to pit lane. Seth Berger and Andrew St. Cour doing the same.
And this will complete pit cycle right here. So I'm pretty sure that Zoltan is going to keep his lead. He had such a monstrous lead built up. I do not believe that he will sacrifice that lead with that pit stop. We'll just have to see where everybody else will come out behind him.
And Nicholas Shelton has already regained that lead from Zoltan Hertzeg. Seth down and away. Andrew St. Cour down and away as well. Zoltan Hertzeg down and away, racing St. Cour on pit exit. Not for position, just racing on pit exit. A bobble there off the pit lane. You don't want to put those right sides over that yellow line. That will be a penalty.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to be careful there. A little bit of a cut back to the left to keep it off that line, and looks like he's going to be all right. As we focus back on Nick Shelton, back to the point after the pit cycle, Jeremiah Stutzman comes out in the second place position. John Jennings in third. Zoltan Herzog is going to settle in fourth after his pit stop. Seth Fitzpatrick and Matt Service to follow.
Nicholas Shelton so far saying he's led 105 laps, and hefty amount of laps led. Tonight, he's on track for his first Outlaws Sim Series victory and what would be his third Outlaws Sim Series start. Nicholas Shelton now catching up to Adrian Schumacher to put him one lap down. Schumacher holds that 8th position. Robert Gianni has just passed Adam Gardner for the 9th position.
Yeah, Adam Gardner, one of the first ones there to come down pit road. So he's going to start having these guys on fresher tires than him start to catch him and start to pass him as we see Max Service working on Seth Fitzpatrick now down to the inside.
They're on the same tires. This is the same strategy.
This is the same strategy here, racing to the end. And he completes the pass off of 4. Max Service up on position into the top 5.
Max Service clears by Seth Fitzpatrick for that 5th position. Take a look at Jeremiah Stutzman, who's been out here. He's been trying. I absolutely know. He's been trying to get his laps led today, but to no avail. Jeremiah Stutzman, he's been hanging out in the top 10 most of the day. Up in 2nd now. It's his highest position he's ran so far. And more than likely cannot make it to the end of the race on fuel.
Yeah, I don't think he can. I mean, if there's one to try it, possibly it could be Stutzman, but I'm just not sure he's going to be able to do it. It's a long way to go till the end of the race, and I think that the first ones that are going to be is those drivers who pitted right at 100 laps to go. Would have been was it lap 125, I believe it was. That's going to be Max Service, Seth Fitzpatrick, Brad Bothwell. I think those are the first drivers who are going to be able to securely make it to the end of this race.
Jonathan Jennings in the 91. He sits currently in that 3rd position. He's led 29 laps today on that strategy where he stayed out as the B&G boys pitted. Tried as he might, but really nothing he could do when he got pace like Nicholas Shelton, Zoltan Herzog pacing the field as they have been throughout the day. But nothing to throw away here. 3rd place, still a great run, and Jennings trying to close that point lead down on Max Service. You know, it's gonna be close to see where they shape up. I think Jennings might have closed with the way stage points worked out. It's gonna be close, but there's Zoltan Herzog making that pass for the 3rd position. He's led 3 laps today, but he's been right on the heels of Shelton. Well, he was early on. And he's since fallen off, I guess. After he got into that incident with Greg Holt, it's been a nice recovery. But 3rd place driver right now, Zoltan Herzog, has his eyes set on Jeremiah Stutzman just up ahead.
Yeah, he does, and he's got the car under him to do it. We saw him power his way back up to 2nd place despite the damage there on the car. And he's got Adam Gardner in front of him, and then he sees right in front of him Jeremiah Stutzman. He get back to 2nd place. Great turn 2 there for Zoltan Herzog, and he's easily going to get by Jeremiah Stutzman going into 3 and 4.
Fifth place driver Max Service, he's led 1 lap today is what scoring will tell us, and that was that 1 lap before he was overtaken by Nicholas Shelton. He fought hard for that 1 lap, had to get through the 91 of Jonathan Jennings, but he did so. Max Service, the first driver, 1 lap down, by the way. That is huge. Shelton's already been through Max Service, and he's not too far away from Jennings, Stutzman, and Herzog. That Shelton putting on a claim, but Max Service, he came into tonight's race with a lot of pride, a lot of hope for a great run tonight. And not that 5th is a bad run, but I think he was expecting a little bit more.
Yeah, possibly expecting a little bit more. Looks like their setup just was not what it wanted to be on at the beginning of the race when the track was very cool. Right now, the track warming up about 101 is the track temperature now, and it seems like this setup is really coming in when the track's warming up. That car seemed to be a little bit tight at the beginning of the race. Seems to have loosened up more to how Max wants to drive it now here later in this race.
Sixth place driver Seth Fitzpatrick directly behind. He was up there, a driver who's been all over the top 5. It says he's been as low as 19th. I'd imagine that was more of a pit stops doing their thing. But right now in the 6th position, he started 4th. He's been as high as 2nd. Fitzpatrick, a little bit of right rear damage. Other than that, he has been pretty clean. He's kept himself, again, up here and alive. Duking it out with some of these front runners. He's traded positions with Service and Jennings. And Gilliard, for that matter. And just trying to see where Fitzpatrick can bring it home. A very fast driver who's, since last season, has been putting together some amazing top 5 runs and somehow still has yet to win a race in the Outlaws Sim Series.
Yeah, it's crazy to believe that right now, but man, what a fast car he's had. So, you know, it is crazy to believe, but yeah, good run here for Seth Fitzpatrick. He is right on the back. He has not let Max Service escape. Max Service got by him, but he's not let Max get away. And possibly looking to put another move on Max before the end of the race if he can stay with him. Max is, again, trying to track down Jeremiah Stutzman, although I don't know if he should really try super hard because Jeremiah Stutzman, I do believe, will have to pit again. We'll have to see as we get later on. But these guys about a turn away from Jeremiah Stutzman at this point, just a little more than, a little less than half a lap, and they are gaining quite rapidly.
Seventh place driver James Gilliard. He is now the 5th car 1 lap down as Stutzman has gone 1 down. The only driver on the lead lap that isn't the race leader Nicholas Sheldon is Zoltan Hertzeg. James Gilliard, again, a beautiful paint scheme on that number 33 tonight. Trying to back up a top 5 run last week from Bristol Dirt. Nearly podiumed last week, but unable to seal the deal. And right now trying to fend off Adrian Schumacher for that 7th position. James Gilliard having a little bit of a nice run. This is one of the better runs I've seen him have. And it's on a short track. I didn't really expect him to piece together a run like this, but he's got some great teammates to back him up as well. And Gilliard is starting to really piece together maybe a little bit of a season here.
Yeah, he is. He did just get passed by Adrian Schumacher there. We saw the pass as we were talking about him. But, yeah, very consistent run from James Gilliard tonight. I'm sure he'll be happy with this top 10, keeping his season on track. But, yeah, it's such a good run. And it seemed to happen when he changed that paint scheme, members. And I'm not going to be superstitious about it, but that seems to be what happened when he changed his paint scheme.
I wouldn't bet against it for sure. And it's a good looking car to do it in too. How about that? There goes the 95 of Devin Smith several laps down on by. The 82 of Adrian Schumacher, one of our road course aces, and I think with Kazi not making too many more starts this season, what I've been told so far. Whether that stays true in the coming months, we'll see what happens. But at that, our road course ace in the Outlaws Sim Series, Adrian Schumacher. I know he can't wait to get to next week's race at Watkins Glen, but it wouldn't be too bad to lead into that with a nice little top 10 and maybe a top 5.
Yeah, it wouldn't be, and he's working his way up. He's got Fitzpatrick and Max Service to catch. He's about a straight away behind those guys right now. Schumacher's also on that same strategy as Jeremiah Stutzman. He may have to pit again, so that may derail his chances of getting a top 5. But I think a 7th place run would be pretty satisfying right now for Adrian Schumacher, considering he did qualify tonight. He started all the way in the back, 25th.
Last row.
And, last row, and has made his way all the way up to 7th.
34 of Robert Gianni, the 3rd. Nope, there's 5 of them, right? So the 4th of those 5 B&G Motorsports cars Brad Bothwell has called tonight. Gianni, he's, I guess, other than Bothwell, has been one of those who's had the most up and down day out of that stable. Again, he's been as high as 3rd, as low as 22nd. He started mid-pack, and right now he's still about mid-pack. At number 34 Mahindra Tractor's Ford Mustang has it hasn't done him any favors. He had a couple moments. He did bring out one of the yellows tonight in getting loose off of 2, making contact with Nathan Aldrich. But Robert Gianni just trying to seek things out here to the end, inside the top 10. Last car, 1 lap down.
Yeah, he's been hanging in there. Again, Gianni hanging inside the top 10. I know he had a really fast car. He'd like to be up there with his teammates. He knows he should be up there. Just a little bit of trouble, and, it's kind of placed him back here where he is. But still a top 10 finish. Not too bad as we see Jeremiah Stutzman coming in the pit. And this is what I thought, Emerson. They're going to have to pit again.
Well, Stutzman definitely will. And who he pitted with, I believe, was...
Schumacher, James Gilliard, Jeremiah Stutzman, and Jonathan Jennings.
I'm trying to see here. I think you're right on Jennings for sure. Schumacher and Gilliard, yeah, they all went about 50 or so laps. Solms and Reeves as well. So Stutzman down away. 14.5. That's a fast 4-tire stop. Unfortunately, everybody else is not going to make one more stop in this race.
Yeah, and he's going to have to make it up on track. It's going to be kind of hard to do. Like you said, the file off was about a half a second at the end of the run. So
Adam Gardner's down and away. 14.7. These are some good 4-tire stops today.
Yeah, good stops so far.
14.73. By iRacing terms, I should say.
These iRacing pit crews putting in the work.
I know we're not seeing those 10 and 11 second stops. That's just, I don't think, possible at this moment on iRacing. These 14-second stops are good by iRacing terms.
Yeah, it's they haven't really caught up to the single lug mentality of what pit stops are right now.
The movement of those stops for sure.
Yeah, so eventually we'll get there. At the moment, though, every driver is not going to get an advantage or anything, so they'll just be with what they got. But yeah, for iRacing Sandy's 14 seconds is kind of the golden goose is what you're shooting for. If you, it's all dependent on how you drive your car into your box, where you stop in the box. It's very dependent on all of that.
Well, for sure to still pit in this race is Jonathan Jennings sitting in the 5th position, Adrian Schumacher in 6th, James Gilliard in 7th, and Jacob Reeves in 12th, Doug Solms in 13th. Nicholas Sheldon has done all the dominating today, leading nearly all the laps. He didn't lead a few on a pit strategy, but he now has a 13 and a quarter second advantage over teammate Zoltan Hertzeg.
Yeah, and those are the only two on the lead lap now. Max Service, the first car, a lap down in 3rd place, and he was kind of behind the leader, but he's kind of fallen back. He's about a half a lap behind the leader now in 3rd place. And I mean, Zoltan Hertzeg is about to lap the entire field. His teammate only about a half a straightaway in front of him.
We're going to go ahead and take a side-by-side here. Don't you go anywhere, actually? Well, we're not going to go anywhere ever. We're just going to take a quick break off of the mic, but we are still going to be bringing you coverage live from Rockingham, North Carolina. Oh, no, before that, we have a pit stop to cover. James Gilliard's on the pit lane.
Yep, one of those drivers that had to come in and pit. He pitted on the same cycle as Jeremiah Stutzman, so he was going to have to come down again. Mic trouble there. Also, again, just to point out, Jonathan Jennings, Adrian Schumacher, also both on the same strategy.
Right side for Gilliard. Trying to see where he's going to end up here. Stutzman's gone on by. I wouldn't put a top 10 out of reach for the 33 car, but it's not going to be easy. It's going to, at the moment, I think it's going to file out in the 11th position. As you also still have to factor in Jennings and Schumacher have to pit, so it's going to be a battle for that top 10, I'd say.
Yeah, it will be. We'll have to see once those other drivers pit where they come out, where it puts them, and then who, of course, can maintain their tire wear and battle to the end. Here we are, kind of approaching about 50 laps to go this next time by for the leader. And yeah, it's starting to get down to crunch time for these guys trying to make positions, but I mean they can only make positions to where they are in the lap counter. Again, only 2 drivers are on the lead lap. Nicholas Shelton and Zoltan Herzig. Every other driver is a lap down or more.
Now we're going to go ahead and try it here. Nicholas Shelton, a 19.5-second advantage around the field. Don't you go anywhere. Side-by-side action. Pit Stop TV. We'll be back.
Sound Art introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of 2 products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. Sound Art ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Welcome back to the virtual Rockingham Speedway here in Rockingham, North Carolina. The 1 mile bumpy oval, D-shaped, kinda oval, I don't know, rock-shaped oval. How about that? Nicholas Shelton is out here. He only has one other car in the lead lap of him. It's teammate Zoltan Herzig, 20.2 seconds behind. And I think even a medium-sized mistake, whatever you say a medium-sized mistake is, couldn't take this one away from Shelton. If he loops it and doesn't hit a wall, I think he's all right. We still have a lot of racing to go. Of course, nothing is set in stone. A little bit sideways there, so you mentioned it. But Nicholas Shelton, he is truly on pace for his first Outlaws Sim Series victory. And does not have to pit again in this race. Nobody else in this race has to pit other than Jonathan Jennings, Adrian Schumacher, and Jacob Reeves.
Yeah, unless they do some monster saving, which I just don't think is possible. Jonathan Jennings and Adrian Schumacher will have to give up their positions. Currently running 5th and 6th, and that'll hand 5th place to Gianni. And Seth Berger's made a recovery from his incident, big time nose damage on the 77, but he's up in the 8th position right now, running very well.
A little blink there for Seth Fitzpatrick. And I was going to say, is Jennings closing in on Fitzpatrick with 20 lap older tires? This is huge if he is. I think he is.
I believe he is. Maybe Jennings was trying to stay with Max as long as he could, and running in that dirty air could very well possibly affected the tire wear on that number 2 car, and he's just not giving up. Or maybe the fuel mileage was getting kind of tight on this 2 car, so he had to back it off a little bit.
That's an excellent point, Devin. Remember, they made 100 or so laps, but that was with a couple cautions. Let's see if we're able to get this count correct here. 3 cautions for 11 laps. I think that's fairly accurate. They had about, let's say, 7, 8 laps of caution to save fuel. They do not have that here. So they're going to have to figure out how to save, I'd say, at least 4 laps worth of of fuel, which is not hard. You can, I don't know if this is intentional, how long he's waiting to get on the throttle, but if you're listening at home, folks, listen to how long it takes him to get back onto the throttle fully. He is basically on the straightaway by the time he's back on the throttle. Either that's a fuel-saving strategy, or that's how bad these tires are on the racetrack at the moment. But nonetheless, it is remarkable how late he's on the... I mean, right there, he was past the blue cone there before he was even on the throttle.
I think that is fuel strategy right there all the way. I think Fitzpatrick knows he's not going to make it. I'm not sure what happened to Jennings. Did he go to look for a bit there and miss it?
Oh, let's see.
He slowed way down off of that turn.
You know, Jennings isn't picking up the throttle fully either. There, so I'm
trying to save.
I don't know if he's trying to save again, or that's how difficult this track is. You know what? Let's go on board with the race leader. Let's see what he's doing. Yeah, he's on the throttle.
Yeah, these guys can comfortably make it to the end. And there it is. That's the second place car in front of the first place car right there.
This is to put the entire field one lap down.
I'm trying to think of a time. I'm pretty sure it has happened in real life NASCAR where a driver has put the entire field a lap down. The only one that's coming to mind was the 1996 Coca-Cola 600. I believe Dale Jarrett put all but second place a lap down. Second place was Dale Earnhardt Sr. in that race. As we see, he's fighting him. He's fighting him, Emerson.
I think he has no choice. He's the second place driver going a lap down. That's such a weird position to be in. But he is cleared, and I can't believe it. That is not. Look at timing and scoring there on the left side of your screen, folks. One lap all the way down.
No more second counters.
No more second counters. That is nutty. There's still 33 laps to go. That time by the start finish line. Yep, there it is. 33 laps to go. And the entire field is one lap down. The closest thing I can recall to this happening in an Outlaws race was our inaugural Outlaws Sim Series points paying event on the Auto Club road course. I think there's only 3 cars on the lead lap. Tyler Markle won that race over Joshua Balliet, Jeremiah Stutzman, and everybody else, I believe, was 1 lap down. I'm trying to think of another. I know the stat sheet will technically say that happened to us New Hampshire Season 1, but that is because there was... the race ended under caution, and we had to edit scoring manually, and I know Sim Racer Hub will say everybody finished 1 lap down besides race winner Andrew Pratt, but that's not necessarily the case. Other than that, I'm thinking Auto Club Road Course Season 1 is the only race I can think where that's happened. Here's Stutzman, earned by a service, not for position.
Yeah, Stutzman is gonna fresh tires on the 71 car. He gets back by, but yeah, that is not for position. He's got to come around again and pass him again. So this is the bed that was dug by those drivers who pitted there, and these drivers who were trying to make it to the end. Max Service and Jonathan Jennings, Seth Fitzpatrick, the first ones that were on that strategy to try and make it to the end. They're going to be close. Jonathan Jennings, Adrian Schumacher still yet to pit. We do believe that both of those drivers still have to come in pit. They're right there beside each other now. Schumacher's really caught up to these guys. And Jennings, again, back onto the back bumper of Seth Fitzpatrick.
We're coming up to that point there where Jennings and Schumacher are going to have to pit in about 10 or so laps. I mean, obviously, I think they'd be hoping for a yellow at this point. But Schumacher goes on by Jennings. I think Jennings gives it up. I don't know if Jennings is trying to save this. Here comes the leader, Nicholas, trying to put him 2 laps down. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, this will be putting up to 5th place 2 laps down right here once he gets by Adrian Schumacher.
Yeah, and Fitzpatrick and Service right up the road. And that is huge. Absolutely nutty. I'm currently looking back to see if we've had a similar result sheet. No, we've never had anybody lap the entire field. I'm trying to see what the least amount of cars on the lead lap has been in Outlaws history. I'm gonna imagine it's a road course or an intermediate track that went green all the way to the from green to checkered. That'd probably be our best guess, but do not see it. Somebody has blown an engine, and Brad Boffell's car staying on the pit lane has blown an engine. Jacob Reeves is on the pit lane.
And Jacob Reeves' part, he was part of
position.
Oh,
yep.
Stop. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, he was part of that crew that needs to pit still. Jonathan Jennings, Adrian Schumacher, Jacob Reeves, and I believe, what was it? Jeremiah Stutzman and James Gilliard were all part of that crew that had to pit. So Reeves comes in to get his stop. A rough night for the 22. He was running decently well, and then spun himself on new tires and caught both the outside and inside walls. Single car incident. No caution came out. Because of that, he was off the race line as well. But you can see the damage on that car. But he was having a good night up until that point.
This battle for fourth. Adrian Schumacher on Seth Fitzpatrick. Look at this run. Huge run.
Yeah, and I think Fitzpatrick is
that
saving
has
a
to be
little
saving
bit.
because Schumacher's on 90 lap old tires.
Yeah,
No way he just
definitely
powered by like he's on fresh tires without saving. Oh, a little bit of a blink there from Schumacher as well.
Yep, and I think that's all saving fuel, making sure you're going to make it to the end. I think Schumacher's realized he can't save it. He's just going for it to get as much as he can, try and put as much distance as he can in between himself and other drivers.
Absolutely.
And it may be just a splash and go for the 82. He probably doesn't care about tires at this point. Maybe a splash and go just to get him to the end.
I wonder how close it will be. Max Service is about to get lapped by race leader Nicholas Sheldon. Look at that. He is 19 seconds back of Zoltan Hertzeg. So Max Service is almost going to be put a lap down by second place, and he's the third place driver.
Wow. It's just all I can say is wow. This is crazy. But I mean, we have to give props to Nicholas Sheldon. He is a pro driver, and he's proving why he's a pro driver.
He's a pro driver for a reason.
For a reason.
And Jennings is in. Here we go. What we've been waiting for. We'll get back to showering Nicholas Sheldon and compliments in a second. Jennings is in. This is the stop for Jennings, and he's taking tires. At least 2 rights. And 4 tires for Jonathan Jennings. He is behind James Gilliard out on the track. And he will come out ahead of Adam Gardner. So it's 11 for the moment for Jonathan Jennings. I'd imagine Schumacher's got to be close.
Yeah, he's got to be real close. Looking at scoring, he says 95 laps on this run. All green flag, and there he comes.
Yep. Adrian Schumacher's in. Is he going to do the splash and go like you said? It's 17 laps to go for Adrian Schumacher. Is that enough to go out there back on those old tires? What is the state of his tires? That's another question we'd like to know. Down in the box.
I don't see any.
Yep, splash and go. 6 seconds.
Splash and go.
Will he be able to keep ahead of James Gilliard? That's who's going to be racing. He will get passed by Gilliard. And he will have a large margin over Jennings. Will be enough for Jennings on his fresh tires.
Yeah, we're watching that because this will be for the 10th position.
Absolutely.
So this is for a top 10.
So, Five Flags Speedway. That was season 1. That was race 24. Greg Holt won that race. The only drivers on the lead lap with him were short track ace Joshua Balliet and Joseph Kazi. That's the only thing ringing a bell. Jacob Reeves has gotten by Doug Solms. This is for position in the 14th position, 6 laps down. We saw that battle on the track, battle on that same lap back there.
Yeah, and I mean, these guys are still battling. They're still trying to get all the points they can, even though there are this many laps down. Other drivers, except for the leader, are finding themselves in similar positions. So still plenty of points and positions to be gained by these drivers who can put in decent runs. But yeah, it's interesting to see no seconds ticking off there on the scoring column. You see laps.
So bizarre.
But yeah, Max Service hanging on to that third place, 2 laps down behind him. Seth Fitzpatrick there. He is also 2 laps down. We're focused now on Zoltan Herzeg, who is in second place, 1 lap down.
He's about to lap Max Service here. And like, there's Max Service right up the road. And there you can see. As that number gets bigger in the bottom right-hand corner, that is what you're looking to see if he gets closer to putting Max Service a lap down to himself. Right now, him and Max Service technically are on the same lap, not the lead lap.
Yeah, technically they are. But you do see that he is starting to put some tenths on that, making that number bigger. Again, this is not a gap to Max Service, with Max Service being in front. This is a gap back to Max Service, basically an entire lap almost behind him. So as the number gets bigger, the closer Max Service is going to be by being lapped by the second place car here.
Season 1, race 20. We were at the Darlington Speedway. It was the first race in the Outlaws Sim Series in the year 2021. Seth Berger won that race. He only had teammates Max Service, Reese Schaefer, and Adrian Schumacher on the same lap as him. 4 cars finished on the lead lap at Darlington that season. 3 finished on the lead lap at 5 Flags that season.
Yeah, it's just a clinic again by Nicholas Shelton, proving what a pro driver can do, lapping all the way through the field. Yeah, he's been on a rail from the beginning of the race.
I didn't even notice. I didn't think what would happen if you put the distance graphic to the next driver on the screen, but that is 1 lap and 5.5 seconds back to Zoltan Herzeg. That is not Zoltan Herzeg 5.5 seconds back of Nicholas Shelton on the same lap. Oh man. Nicholas Shelton, absolutely. This is his 3rd Outlaw Sim Series start, and you know he started at a couple weird tracks. You know, for a pro driver to kind of set their foot down and say, I am the pro driver here. Because I mean, Talladega, he got caught up in some bad luck. He was drafting really well with Zoltan Herzeg, and Shelton went around a couple times off the nose of Zoltan Herzeg. The other track was Bristol Dirt, which was kind of an anomaly because the NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series drivers never raced Bristol Dirt, never raced dirt at the professional level before this season in the NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. Bristol Dirt was the first time this year in NASCAR that they ran on dirt. Adrian Schumacher just got passed, and sideways is Schumacher!
Whoa.
Schumacher just got passed by Jennings for 10th, and that settles that battle.
Yeah, so the splash and go not working out as we have 5 laps to go for our leader.
And a potential battle for 5th brewing.
Yeah, battle for 5th. Gianni being caught by Seth Berger with the damaged car.
Both of them damaged cars, let's be fair.
Both of them damaged cars. We'll be fair here. But Berger really putting the pressure on here at the end of the run. Again, those Swift Racing guys really seem to come on at the end of these tire runs. Those cars seem to be hooked up for the long run.
And to the inside for the 5th position, Seth Berger is cleared. And they are 2 laps down off of Nicholas Shelton as Berger clears into the 5th position. 3 laps to go for Nicholas Shelton. Another example I found, only 4 drivers on the lead lap at Montreal back in Season 1. I don't think we're going to find too many more besides that.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to find too many more. Definitely nothing like this, as we are 2 laps to go now for our leader.
Nicholas Shelton, what a day it's been. 190 laps led. If everything goes according to plan, should be 192, nearly 200 on a absolutely dominant night. Off the final corner and across the stripe, 1 lap to go. Presented by Whiplash Sim Cams. www.pitstoptv.com for your Whiplash Media Sim Cams.
Yeah, and the most dominating performance we've seen here in the Outlaws Sim Series, Emerson, is Nick Shelton, rounds 3 and 4.
For the first time in the Outlaws Sim Series, Nicholas Shelton is a race winner. And he'll dominate his way to 1 at the Rock.
Every other driver finishing a lap down or more. Zoltan Herzeg 1 lap down. Max Surface 2 laps down. Fitzpatrick 2 laps down. And Seth Berger will bring it home in 5th, 2 laps down.
And he will not even give us a show. Wow. Trying to see. He's not even in the Discord as far as I know. We'll see if we can get him to join us up here for an interview here in a moment. But Nicholas Shelton, the race winner from Rockingham. And absolutely bizarre race. Only 3 cautions tonight, which I think that is perfect. That is a typical Outlaw Sim Series race. But at that, a dominant performance. Let's go through the results real quick. We'll give him some time. Nicholas Shelton, the race win. And a lap and change over Zoltan Herzeg. 2 laps back is 3rd place finisher Max Service, along with 4th place finisher Seth Fitzpatrick, 5th place Seth Berger, 6th place Robert Gianni, 7th place Jeremiah Stutzman. 3 laps down, you'll find the 33 of James Gilliard, the 91 of Jonathan Jennings, and the 12 of Andrew St. Cour will be scraping his way into the top 10.
Yeah, and then after Andrew St. Cour, you'll see Adrian Schumacher 3 laps down in 11th. Adam Gardner, he was talking about trying to get a top 15. He comes on in 12th, 4 laps down, able to get a good finish there. Jacob Reeves comes on in 13th, 6 laps down. Doug Solms, 14th, 6 laps down. And Kevin Thompson in 15th, 6 laps down as well. The rest of these drivers started to find some incidents later in the race and earlier in the race as well. Devin Smith, 18 laps down in 16th. Brad Bothwell called it quits, 96 laps down in 17th. Derek McMurtry, 98 laps down in 18th. Scott Bailey, 111 laps down in 19th. And Nathan Aldrich, 170 laps down in 20th.
Final few drivers tonight. Greg Holt places 21st. 172 laps down, continuing what has been a dismal season for the 3. The 96 Matt Rogers finishes 22nd, 190 laps down. Garrett Velsey places 23rd, 201 laps down. John Nicky, 24th, 211 laps down. Andrew Schroeder finishes 25th, 226 laps. Actually, he never took the green, Andrew Schroeder or Kevin Powell. They scored 25th and 26th. And I don't see Nicholas Shelton or Zoltan Herzeg. We don't have a race winners interview lined up. We're going to get you some interviews. Don't you worry. We'll be right back here at Pit Stop TV. Don't you go anywhere.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Sound Art introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of 2 products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. Sound Art ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
Welcome, race fans, back to the virtual Rockingham Speedway. We're now in the post-race coverage of the Outlaws Sim Series event from the Rock here in the virtual Rockingham, North Carolina. Unfortunately, I don't believe we're going to get a race winner or a second-place finisher's interview here at Rockingham, but I guess we'll just start working our way down the line, Devin. I guess what's going to take place of our third-place finisher's our winner's interview is going to be our third-place finisher, Max Service. Max, when's the last time you've finished third in a race, and that would be also 2 laps down?
I finished third in a race this season, 1 lap down. That's about it, to be honest. That's what happens when you've got pro driver leading the race and guy with pro setup in second. So this, we're best of the rest, basically, at that point.
Coming into tonight's race, you only had a 6-point advantage over Jonathan Jennings. While it was very close in the stages, you will edge him out about 6 spots here at the end of the race. That kind of helps yourself heading into Watkins Glen. I know road courses aren't kind of your strong suit, but how do you feel about yourself opening up that point advantage heading into Watkins Glen?
It feels good to open her up. I mean, I love Rockingham. I wish we could have won, but, I mean, there was no beating them. But going to Watkins Glen, don't want to go, quite honestly. I don't like road courses, and this car kind of sucks at road courses, to be honest. Especially with open setups. But, it is what it is. We'll go there and see if we can protect this point lead a little bit longer. I'd like to keep it as long as I can, but I don't know how much longer I can hold on to it.
We shall see what happens as you head to the high-speed course up in Watkins Glen, New York. And you know what, Max? We're going to open up that little back area that these stock cars aren't really privy to. I think they call it the boot. We'll add 4 more corners to the course. How are you feeling about the new layout?
I actually like the boot. I like a lot of the corners in there. I do enjoy it. Now next week I'm going to say I hate it, but it's better than the actual Watkins Glen track. I like it better. Those corners flow very nicely.
Right on. Well, third place finisher Max Serther, first interview of the night. We didn't get time with Shona Hertzeg. I appreciate your time, Max. Congratulations on the podium, the 1 lap lead. I know that's a hard fought lap lead at that, and best luck to you next week at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for doing what you guys do up there. And I mean, you can call me the winner if you want. I'll take it.
We're not quite there yet. I needed just 2 more laps.
Yeah, really. And then probably and then another lap, because he was close.
Oh goodness. All right, Max. Congratulations on the podium. Best luck to you at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that was third place finisher Max Service. We're gonna get 4th place finisher up here, Seth Fitzpatrick. Devin.
Yeah, and the first of the Seth finishers, Seth Fitzpatrick, coming home in 4th place, bringing that Hooters number 2 car home in the top 5. 4th place, 2 laps down. We don't have to say that too. We don't get to say that too often, Seth.
No, not too often. I didn't expect that by any means. I thought we was going to come at, well, I mean, I guess we did still finish pretty well, but I didn't expect to go 2 laps down to the leader.
Yeah, it's kind of bizarre. We mentioned it during the broadcast tonight. Just kind of a bizarre happening there. Pretty much the entire field was lapped all the way to 2nd place was a lap down. So you don't see that very often, if at all. But man, you still had a decent car out there. Gave Max Service a good run for his money for that third place position. You guys kind of made a interesting strategy call at the end, trying to make it on fuel. Just how much fuel did you have to save in that second run, and did you have to save any in the final run as well?
No, I didn't really save any in the second run, but I was saving a bit on the last one. If I wasn't 2 laps down, I probably would have ran out. But being 2 laps down, I was able to cross the finish line under power.
Yeah, just how many laps do you think these cars could have ran? We were guesstimating about 102, maybe under green flag conditions. Did that sound about right?
Yeah, I'd say anywhere probably between 100 to 105, somewhere around that area, it could be done.
Yeah, it was an interesting strategy call, and we appreciate it. It gave us something to talk about here in the booth with you and Max pulling that string and that rabbit out of the hat to get third and fourth. Worked out very well for you. Talk about the bumps here. We always talk about the bumps at Rockingham. We saw it catch a couple guys out. The car's just not cooperating off of turn number 2. That Thunder Alley kind of living up to its name. How did you think the car was faring, specifically your car, off of turn number 2 there and through the bumps?
Oh, it wasn't good at all. It wasn't bad to start the race, but when the race progressed and the track got hotter, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And a few pit adjustments that I made helped a little bit, but not enough to go up there and really race with Max. But yeah, their bumps off 2 were horrible, rough.
Yeah, we always hear that here at Rockingham. But hey, you pulled out a top 5, another good finish for you, continuing your push for some improved playoff standings. We are starting to get further along in the season here. We're in race number, this is race number 10, so starting to click them down and get closer and closer to this playoffs. So when do you start to shift your focus to the playoffs, if at all?
Well, they're always in the back of your mind, but just going to keep on trying to have good runs and stuff, and hopefully not finish 2 laps down next week. And yeah, just keep focusing on good runs and staying out of trouble, and hopefully our time will come.
Yeah, I hope so. There's been a lot of speed in that 2 car this season. We hope to see you get it done. I'm hoping to be talking to you further along. We're going to go ahead and let you get back down and celebrate this top 5 in the way that you do. But we appreciate you talking with us, and we'll catch you next week at Watkins Glen.
All right, man. Y'all take care.
And that was 4th place finisher Seth Fitzpatrick. And so just keep moving on down the line. We'll bring up 5th place finisher Seth Berger. Max called y'all the best of the rest. I guess 3rd out of the best of the rest, Seth. But 5th place, 2 laps down. I don't know. How do you feel about that run? That car's destroyed, so I guess a top 5 in it is not too shabby at all.
Yeah, I mean, considering being wrecked, yeah, a 5th place does feel like a win, but that's still 2 laps down, so nothing to really be proud of. But I guess when you're racing a Pro Series driver with a pro setup, that stuff's gonna happen.
Well, it was a wild race at that. There was kind of a whole bunch of different strategies. I'm going to call it as more of like an F1 midfield. Max on back. But a whole lot of different strategies going on through there. I know you were kind of in your own world. You did kind of get around Gianni there. So when did you kind of know you kind of had that speed to get around that 34, chase him down, and ultimately make that pass?
I kind of saw it the last, like, I don't remember exactly what lap it was, but maybe like 10-15 laps to go. I noticed I was actually closing in on him, and then I was like, okay, well, let's try to get a top 5, because that'd be pretty cool to see after getting wrecked. So yeah, I didn't notice until pretty close to the end there, and I'd say after the round of green flag pit stops, I realized I might be able to get a decent finish, just because a lot of people pitted earlier. than what the fuel window is going to be. So, yeah, I went from, I think, 20th after being wrecked to 5th. That's pretty good at Rockingham, a place that's very tough to pass.
A very tough track indeed. I will say, it looked like this NextGen car allowed so much more passing today. From what you could tell, especially having to work your way through the field, how was it when you were trying to make those passes?
You were just trying to not wreck it, man. I mean, coming out of turn 2 is like, oh my gosh. I mean, just being single file in turn 2 was sketchy. I feel like most of the passes you were trying to make were in 3 and 4, but yeah, man, you just try to hook that thing on the bottom or try to get the run on the high side. But yeah, it was sketchy to pass, and I think that also did cause for a lot of more passing because the dude you're side by side with is also going to have a hard time running the track.
Well, next up you have Watkins Glen, and it's the full course, the boot layout added on with that. So how you feeling? A little bit of a change up when you think of Watkins Glen, but a road course nonetheless. The new section, I don't know how many times you've driven it, but should be an intriguing challenge for you in these next-gen cars. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, it's gonna be a challenge, especially with that boot. I ran it a few times in Ferrari, and obviously that's not going to translate much, but at least I know what the boot looks like. And I think I've gotten a little bit better at road course racing lately, but with open setups, we're going to have to see what happens next week. But I'd just like to shout out Burger Nation for tuning in tonight. That was a long race, and yeah, thank you guys, and go check out Burgarts.
Right on. 5th place finisher Seth Berger brings it from being in that big wreck on the back straightaway to that 5th place finish. Congratulations on that top 5, Seth. Best luck to you next week at the road course.
All right, thank you.
Next up, down the line, the next driver available to talk to us is going to be, Gilly kind of declined our interview, but we did get Stutzman, Devin. So 7th place finisher Jeremiah Stutzman to kind of wrap up our interviews here.
Yeah, so we'll bring up the 71 of Jeremiah Stutzman. He comes in, having to head pit late in that run, but able to recover back to 7th. Hey, Jeremiah, normally you're a guy who tries to stretch it on fuel, but it looks like maybe one of those early pit stops possibly caught you out in a situation possibly didn't want to be in. Can you kind of walk us through what happened there?
Oh, yeah, I had to just try to stay with the leader somehow, and the only way closest I could get would stay in one lap down. So that's what I had to try to do.
Yeah, ultimately you did finish 2 laps down, but having again to pit, that final time. Kind of walk us through. We saw it was very tricky, especially after all the interviews so far have told us turn 2 was a nightmare to navigate, even with just by yourself. Kind of walk us through your experience at this track, Rockingham, the Rock, and just a very bumpy racetrack. Kind of walk us through what your experience was in that 71 machine tonight.
Tonight was probably the most fun I've had in a while. I wouldn't expect it to come at this track because I run absolutely horrible here, but it was fun.
Yeah, it looked like it was in that 71. You were pretty quick there for a lot of the runs. Unfortunately, that pit stops came when they did. It kind of caught some people out, but we move next week to Watkins Glen with the boot layout. Kind of walk us through what your game plan is going into next week.
I think I just got to stay on the pavement.
I like it, plain and simple.
The last road course we were at, that seemed to be the biggest problem with guys, with staying on track. If you'd done that, you'd pretty well locked into a top 10, so that's the plan.
I like it, plain and simple. Stay on the pavement, and it is the boot layout, and I'm not sure a lot of traditional NASCAR drivers, traditional oval racers, have driven the boot layout too many times. It is a little bit different. Personally, it's one of my favorites once they put the boot in. I don't walk like Watkins Glen when the boot is not there, but it should be a very fun race. As far as the rest of the season goes, you did mention that there were some tough tracks coming up for you. The last time I talked to you, I remember that. But we do have some tracks after that I know that you are pretty good at. So what's your next track you're most looking forward to visiting?
Texas.
That was the one I was going to say as well. I know that you seem to always run well there, so I just wanted to confirm it. But I know you're not keen on those short tracks, but you do tend to run decently well there. And of course, we wish you luck at Watkins Glen as well as those short tracks. And we'll let you get back down now. Appreciate your time and talking with us, and congratulations on the 7th place finish, getting into the top 10.
All right, thank you, and good job as always.
Right on. That was 7th place finisher Jeremiah Stutzman. That's going to go ahead and kind of wrap up the interview block of our post-race coverage. Unfortunately, we didn't get to hear from the winner or 2nd place tonight. It would have been amazing to hear if there's maybe any advice they can give to us, or any insight to what it is to run like that. But nonetheless, still want to thank everybody who did give us their time, service, Fitzpatrick, Berger, and Stutzman all there. But yeah, Devin, again, this race had 3 yellows. It was nice to see the choose rule back in action, because we didn't have it for 2 weeks at Dega or Bristol Dirt. No choose. Well, actually, we did get the choose rule a little late at Bristol Dirt, but we did end up actually getting it. But nonetheless, yeah, the traditional choose rule on the on the front stretch back in action tonight, and looks like those drivers, especially on those restarts, the driver on the outside lane had a fighting chance, and that is what you kind of enjoy, even about these 1 mile tracks. It was, I don't know, but to see that outside lane really work, to see the passing that we had, we pretty much went the entire run from the caution period to the green flag pit stops, where there was overtakes and battles.
Yeah, I was not expecting that too much in the old Generation 6 car. It was really hard to pass, and then in the trucks last season, when we came here, we did see that passing was kind of at a premium. We did get a lot of green flag runs last year at this track, but passing was a premium last season. So I say last year, I mean last season. But it seems like this next generation car is very fun to pass with, and you can run that outside lane decently well to at least battle for the position, especially early in the run, and that made for some great racing here. And unfortunately that didn't get up to the leaders as much. Great performance there from Nicholas Shelton and Zoltan Herzog up at the front. But back here, third on back, we had some magnificent racing.
So upcoming next here on the channel, we went through it a little bit, but we can go through it a little bit more. Oop, wrong schedule. That schedule. A little bit more in depth. Coming up tomorrow afternoon, again, here in the States, or tomorrow night if you're in Europe or in the UK. British sim racers and their touring cars do battle on the Cup layout. Not the layout that we're running on next Wednesday, but the shorter layout that traditionally we would run. That's a little interesting, because those touring cars taken to the Watkins Glen Cup course, that should be a fun time, by the way, to see what kind of racing it can have with kind of that boot taken out. It kind of adds that opportunity there at the end of that straightaway into turn 6 or turn 10 if you're counting the bus stop as well. But then we have a championship night. Champions will be crowned tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Well, 8:30 p.m. Eastern is when coverage begins of the North American Racing League GT3 season finale from Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace, Interlagos. That should be a fun track again. The Formula One Brazilian Grand Prix track. Cannot wait. And then Sunday night, the NPI Cup Series is back in action. They're at the track dubbed as Too Tough to Tame, the Lady in Black, and all that good stuff. Darlington, throwback weekend for the NPI Cup Series. Actually, on social media, the NPI, we got together with some NPI Cup Series drivers and got a throwback scheme or two out there. We'll be having some throwback reveals. So go ahead and check out our socials for that tonight. And Yeah, throwback weekend for the NBA Cup Series. Can't wait to see how those boys, what those boys bring to the track. Tuesday, British Sim Racers and their Trophy Tuesdays, their MX-5s are back in action. They're at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, and that's a fun track, one of the best road courses in America. And those Mazdas are going to be having a blast on there with those 4 15-minute races. And then, of course, we're back in action next Wednesday night for the Outlaws Sim Series. Same time as always, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We're at Watkins Glen, but not the NASCAR layout. We're on the boot layout. But with that being said, Devin, crazy string of racetracks, and I think for the first time, this entire slate of races is all in the Americas, and it would be all in North America if it wasn't for Interlagos.
Yeah, but still a bunch of good racetracks.
Absolutely.
Again, it's going to be interesting to see these TCR cars go around the traditional NASCAR Cup layout of Watkins Glen. Again, that's not one of my favorite tracks. I'm not a big Cup layout Watkins Glen. I like Watkins Glen with the boot, but it would be interesting to see those TCRs run around that track. Interlagos, one of my favorite tracks of all time. Great track to end the North American Racing League season on. Will it be exciting to see that champion crowned? And then, of course, Darlington MPI going there. And I know the real life NASCAR is going to run some throwback paints. Some of them have already been revealed. Big shout out to Trackhouse Racing, absolutely nailing their paint schemes. It seems like all season long, pulling out another 2 great throwback paint schemes for the Darlington race. So maybe we'll see some in the MPI series. Some of these drivers coming out with some throwback paint schemes there at Darlington, and you can catch all of that action for the TCRs at Watkins Glen, crowning a champion in the North American Racing League, and possibly some throwbacks in MPI on Pit Stop TV. All of our social media channels are listed there below: Facebook.com/Pit Stop TV, Instagram.com/Pit_Stop_TV, Twitter.com/Pit Stop TV_, and YouTube.com/C/Pit Stop TV1, and of course on Twitch.tv/Pit_Stop_TV. Emerson.
Absolutely. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody who worked the show tonight. Devin Zimmerman, who was alongside the call with me this evening, and Ed Shearer, who was out about the racetrack taking pictures of all the action on the bumpy Rockingham Speedway. But, well, that'll do it from The Rock. We're happy to have had you all here tuning in and joining us for tonight's action, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Once again, for all here at Pit Stop TV, Devin Zimmerman, Ed Shearer, and myself, Emerson Arn, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon for British Sim Racer Touring Cars from Watkins Glen, or next Wednesday night for Outlaws Sim Series action from Watkins Glen, the boot layout. Good night, everyone.